Chapter 8:25. I want to interrupt. Lee Moran suddenly stood up. That can I mean if there are no accidents, can I go with you? Cough, Brother Su, if I remember correctly, you said that I can go to Xinjiang with you. And then you have a hotel that can provide me with a job opportunity? Su Yin smiled. What I'm offering you isn't just an employment opportunity. You can participate in the management and promote your potato soup better. You can change it up, develop some flavors, and then make it a specialty of the hotel. After all, rich people are tired of eating things like sea cucumber, bird's nest, shark's fin soup, and the like. Too much nourishment can easily lead to nutritional imbalance in the body. Instead, some ordinary ingredients will become the mainstream on the table. Of course, the premise is that you can make different patterns. No one will order hot and sour shredded potatoes with the same ingredients, but if it is made into potato soup, the effect may be different. Potato soup can also be displayed in a star-rated hotel? Li Zui exclaimed. Brother Su, you are not fooling me, right? You are not lying to me to be a coolie, right? Please, even if it is a human trafficker, they won't sell a Monster King at your age. Isn't that asking for trouble? Lin Ge laughed. But you did remind me of something. I've always felt that the stone lion on the left side of the hotel's entrance is a little slanted, but that thing is too big and too heavy. It can't be moved at all. Perhaps you can solve it if you go there. Lee Moran was also generous. It's a piece of cake, it's nothing. Su Yin didn't take you to Xinjiang to make ordinary potato soup. Cho Yun said. As long as your potato soup can be combined with some expensive ingredients and change the pattern. Just like the sushi in the sushi restaurant, ordinary sushi with tuna can be called tuna sushi, and the price can be doubled. If you add some sea cucumber and abalone to your yam soup, you can also change the name and sell it at a high price. Lee Moran nodded as if he suddenly realized. The value of an object depends on what it is sold with. Su Yun. For example, if the same plastic bag is used to store trash, then it is trash itself. It has no value, and no one will want it. But if you go to a fruit stall to buy something and use this plastic bag to weigh the durian, then its value will be equal to the value of the durian. Lee Moran gave him a thumbs up. He had met an expert today. If he put sea cucumber in his potato soup, it would be sea cucumber and potato soup. What was originally 5 yuan at a street stall could be sold for 180 yuan at a 5-star hotel. However, its main material was still just yams. Although the value had changed, it was not that exaggerated. That's why I didn't ask you to come with me to Xinjiang to be an employee. Su Yin. If you can increase the influence of your potato soup, then you are welcome to become one of the managers of Xingkai Hotel. Lee Moran nodded vigorously. There was no running away from this. Su Yin was not only interested in Lee Moran's potato soup, he was also very clear that Lee Moran was a rare genius. More importantly, he had helped them too much that day. Now that Xie had gotten into trouble with the police, if Su Yin did not step forward, then it would be too disloyal. After Su Yin and the others returned to Xinjiang, Yi Fala had already prepared a celebratory banquet for them. Although this matter was complicated, and Su Yin probably needed some time to heal, the final result was still satisfactory. Moreover, when everyone heard that Lee Moran had helped them, they were also quite enthusiastic towards him. This made Lee Moran a little embarrassed. He had not enjoyed the feeling of being on the same side for a long time. When he was young, he did not know where his parents went, so he grew up with his grandfather. He originally thought that after graduating from university, he could be filial to his grandfather, but he could not stop the erosion of his 98-year-old grandfather. Ever since his grandfather left, he had been living alone. In the past half a year or so, he came to Luyan Pedestrian Street to sell potato soup, which was also something that happened after that. This place seemed to have given Lee Moran a new lease of life. He really liked this place. He liked the feeling of someone treating him as a family member. Every time he saw Su Yun smile, he felt that he didn't follow the wrong person. Moreover, he had to admit that Xinjiang was really full of beauties. Although he was happy, the damage that his body had caused to Su Yun was still quite serious. At least, if he only relied on Su Yun's precious medicine, it could only prevent his injuries from worsening. It could not help him recuperate. Yilan only promised them to save Su Yun and let him wake up. Su-yin did not have the nerve to stay there and continued to trouble her. After learning about this matter, Yi-Fala was still very depressed. She felt that even if her sister still had unresolved conflicts with her, she should not have let Su-yin come back after he was fully healed, knowing that he was her friend. In this regard, Su-yin felt that she was not wrong. He had already disturbed Yilan for no reason. If he asked Yilan to do anything else, it would be too much. In any case, this injury did not affect Su-yin's daily life. It was just that Su-yin could not use his qi during this period of time, and could not tire himself out too much. To put it bluntly, before his state of mind recovered, he was just like an ordinary person. If he forced his body to do anything radical, then he was likely to fall into danger again. Now Su-yin could be said to be a key target of protection. At least, Lin Ge and Cho Yun would not let Su-yin out of their sight easily. Chang and little Dongbei were very distressed. They had always been afraid of protecting their brother Yin, but now, they suddenly became the target of protection. Each of them was more concerned than the other. This was what it meant to be a true brother. Li Moran saw all of this, and he was particularly moved by this. However, this did not affect Su-yin at all. Now that the biggest threat around him had been dealt with, what else did he have to worry about? He had witnessed Leng Chen's death with his own eyes. There was no mistake. During this period of time, Su-yin could finally sleep comfortably for a few days. Lin Suyin was still angry at Su-yin at first, but now that she saw Su-yin's state, she only felt distressed. Leng Chen was dead. Her enemy was gone. This was extremely important news to Lin Suyin. Su-yin called Lin Suyin to his room and showed her the photo that he insisted on taking with his phone at the last moment. Originally, I wanted to send this photo to Brother Dong immediately, but after thinking about it, I think it's better for you to inform him of this matter. I believe that the brothers of the Three Lotus Society are also waiting for this news. Chapter 826. Without waiting for Lin Suyin to inform Wu Yuandong and the other members of the Three Lotus Association, Lin Ge came knocking on their door. Seeing that Lin Suyin was also in Su-yun's room, he laughed. What's the rush? Why are you looking for me at this time? How old are you? Can't you be more mature? Su-yun looked at the time. It was indeed not early. It was already past 10 o'clock at night. Lin Suyin had also been in his room for quite some time. Lin Ge looked at Lin Suyin and laughed. Brother, sister, I know that I'm disturbing you, but I also want to remind you that your body hasn't recovered yet. You can't afford to be tossed around, especially strenuous exercise. Although that piston movement isn't considered strenuous exercise, I still think that you should pay attention to it. Damn. Su-yun stretched out his hand and slapped his head. This kid really dared to say anything. Wasn't he afraid that Lin Suyin would kick him in anger? Fortunately, there was a cultural difference between the mainland and Taiwan. Lin Suyin didn't understand what Lin Ge meant. She looked at Su-yun blankly. Su-yun hurriedly said, Don't listen to this kid's nonsense. It's just that it's late. He's just reminding me to rest early. Right now he and Cho Yun are like crazy. They can't wait to throw me into the ICU. Don't blame them. Lin Suyin smiled faintly and said to Lin Ge, Dove, don't worry. I'll make sure that Su-yin has a good sleep before leaving. With me here, you don't have to worry. Go back and sleep early. Lin Ge thought, It's because you're here that I'm worried. In the middle of the night, a man and a woman alone. That's like throwing dry firewood into a raging fire and saying that it's fine. Who would believe that? If it wasn't for the fact that Su-yun's body couldn't do strenuous exercise and needed to be protected, he wouldn't have come here to seek excitement. It was just an exchange between men and women. He couldn't wait to keep the goodies within the family. For a lady like Lin Suyin, only Su-yun was worthy of her. Then I'll go back first. You guys really need to rest early, Lin Ge said resentfully. Lin Suyin stood up and said, I'm going back to sleep now. I'm just here to send a photo so that the brothers of the Three Lotus Society will know that their enemy is dead. Lin Ge hurriedly nodded, closed the door, and left. As long as there was no strenuous exercise, he wasn't worried about anything else. After Lin Ge left, Lin Suyin asked Su-yin curiously, What did he mean just now? What did he mean by piston movement? You're already like this. You don't need to exercise at night, do you? Nothing. You heard wrong. He just asked me to stop doing push-ups. Su-Yun said awkwardly. It's getting late. You should go back too. As for Lungchen's matter, it's not too late to inform Brother Dong and the others tomorrow. If you tell them now, they'll probably be so excited that they won't be able to sleep at night. Lin Suyin nodded. That's true. We'll talk about it tomorrow. You should rest well so that Lin Gu and the others won't be at ease. I'm going back to my room. After sending Lin Suyin off, Su-Yun closed the door and sat cross-legged on his bed. After his inner demon broke out last time, he always thought that the tyrannical hostility in his body would dissipate. However, he didn't expect that it had accumulated in the depths of his heart and formed such a huge and terrifying force. Although this hostility could increase his combat strength by several times in a short period of time, the consequences of overdrawing his life force made Su-Yun quite afraid. He had to find a way to get rid of this tyrannical hostility. This was Yi Lan's advice. Otherwise, this hostility would erupt again and again. When Su-Yun couldn't control or rely on this hostility, he wouldn't be far from losing control. Of course, Su-Yun might not lose control. If he didn't, it meant that his time was almost up. Yi Lan's words caused Su-Yun to break out in a cold sweat. Su-Yun asked her how she could get rid of this evil qi. Yi Lan said that she didn't have any good ideas. The only thing she could do was to persevere with her breathing to control this evil qi. If she wanted to get rid of it, she really didn't have any way. Wang Yi's breathing exercises were quite effective for Su-Yun. As long as Su-Yun persisted in the breathing exercises, he would always feel a special sense of relief in his heart. This feeling made Su-Yun feel that his whole body and mind had a special sense of comfort. Now Su-Yun could only use this method to control the hostility in his heart. If he couldn't get rid of it, then Su-Yun could only try to control it. Otherwise, if this hostility swallowed the real him one day, the consequences would be even more unimaginable. As for what the consequences would be, Yi Lan didn't tell Su-Yun. Su-Yun asked many times, but she refused to say. Su-Yun, who was sitting cross-legged on the bed, completely cleared his mind and entered a state of meditation. He began to adjust himself according to the breathing exercises. During the process of adjustment, Su-Yun clearly felt that his mental strength had improved greatly. Of course, at the same time, he also felt how serious his injuries were. He really didn't know how much good fortune his ancestors had cultivated for Su-Yun to be able to turn misfortune into blessings every time. Although his situation was so bad that it made him feel lost and disappointed, he always saw hope every time. If it weren't for the medical sage of the immortal mountain, Yi Lan, who saved him this time, Su-Yun would probably have died. After all, only Yi Lan could do such a complicated acupuncture technique. If it were anyone else, they could at most let Su-Yun live for 3 to 5 days. It was impossible to let Su-Yun stand up like a normal person again. The injury to Su-Yun's veins wasn't that simple. After suffering Lung Chen's counterattack, everyone could imagine the consequences. After a while of breathing exercises, Su-Yun took 2 9 revolutions soul return elixirs and a qi-gathering elixir to consolidate the genuine qi that he had lost. He hoped that nothing else would happen during this period of time. Otherwise, he really couldn't bear it. The Qingdao Film and Television Plaza was in the final stage of acceptance. When everything was done, it would be announced that it was ready. At that time, he would officially take over the Sky Entertainment Group from Zhuo Meiyan. Alas, Su-Yun felt that the burden on his shoulders had become heavier. He was really afraid that he would waste Zhang Guangyou's life's efforts. Although the name prodigal sounded awesome, Su-Yun really didn't want to be a prodigal. When he was young, Su-Yun often complained that God was unfair to him. Only now did he realize that God was really good to him. Zhuo Meiyan had been supporting the Sky Entertainment Group for so many years. When it was at its peak, she wanted to pass it to him and enjoy it. No one was as lucky as him. Chapter 827. Su-Yun's victory in the battle with Lung Chen scared Zhuo Meiyan. Although Su-Yun came to Qingdao alive, she still angrily punched Su-Yun's chest 3 times. Su-Yun could only smile apologetically. Zhuo Meiyan would definitely blame him. He knew from the beginning that he didn't let her join because he didn't want anything to happen to Sky Entertainment Group before the completion of the Qingdao Film and Television Plaza. After staying on Qingdao for a while, Guogua and Ruan Qingshuang felt very good. Their mood was like the sun on a sunny day, especially bright. Su Yin said that he would end all these troubles, and now he did it. That was enough for him. Since Yi Fala had already left prison, there was finally someone who could take care of the matters at Xingkai Hotel. Ruan Qingshuang finally had a chance to rest after so many days. So she mentioned that she also wanted to attend the ribbon-cutting ceremony at Sky Entertainment's Qingdao Film and Television Plaza. Not only was Su Yin very happy about this, but Zhuo Meiyan also welcomed it. It could be said that Su Yin hoped that all of his friends could be there. If it wasn't for the tracking device on Yi Fala's ankle, he would personally write an invitation letter to invite her to come. Looking at the completed Qingdao Film and Television Plaza, Su Yin sighed with emotion. The sun always came after the rain. Although he was in a very good mood, everyone still had some concerns about him, especially Lin Ge. He knew Su Yun's current state the best. Although everything looked calm, he knew that Su Yun's injury would affect him. He was now an ordinary person. If he used too much Xinqi, it was very likely that there would be very serious consequences. Brother, stay on Qingdao for a while. I want to find someone. After a joyous dinner, Lin Ge called Su Yin to his room alone. It's not a good idea for you to keep wasting time like this. This kind of thing can't be rushed. I will slowly recuperate. Su Yin said, I know who you're looking for, but if you go to Saranwan Island, you won't find the person you're looking for. Because old Topple has already left the sea west of Athens and returned to Huaxia. Lin Ge was startled. How did you know I was going to find Mr. Wu Qiuzi? Has he returned to Huaxia? How is that possible? Didn't he want to completely leave Huaxia's underground world? How could he possibly come back? Since he came back, he must have something he wants to do, Su Yin said. I'm sure he went back to Huaxia because he came to find me after he returned to Huaxia. Moreover, he even saved my life. His whereabouts are unpredictable. Unless he wants to find us, we won't be able to find him. Lin Ge shook his head. No, even if there's only the slightest chance, I won't miss it. I must find him. He might be the only person in the world who can heal you as soon as possible. If you go on like this, with you guys around, I don't mind being an ordinary person for the rest of my life. Su Yin chuckled. Lung Chen was dead, and Guogua's secret was sealed. He had also thought that if he wanted to live an ordinary life, the prerequisite was that he had to become an ordinary person himself. Otherwise, he would always be caught up in the disputes of the underground world. Lin Ge didn't think so. No matter what you think, I won't give up this opportunity. Even if Lung Chen is dead, we can't be sure that no one else knows about Guogua's secret. I hope that all of this is over as much as you do, but who dares to jump to conclusions so easily? Su Yin fell silent after hearing Lin Ji's words. He didn't say anything else. Indeed, this was all his wishful thinking. He didn't dare to jump to conclusions at all. Just based on the fact that one person's life and death was still unknown, he had to be vigilant. That person was Muto Ichiro, who had abandoned the ship and fled on the high seas. In order to get Guogua, Lung Chen had gone to him for cooperation. Although Su Yin didn't want to believe it, he still suspected Muto Ichiro. That guy's IQ wasn't just for show. If he investigated thoroughly, it wasn't impossible for him to discover this secret. Why do you think old Topple can help me? Su Yin knew that old Topple's medical and poison skills were definitely top-notch. But now, Su Yin was facing the loss of his cultivation and Jinqi. He didn't think that Wu Qiuzi could help him in this regard. Lin Ge said with certainty, I'm sure, because Mr. Wu Qiuzi once helped our old man. If it weren't for him, our old man wouldn't have become the evil god that everyone feared. Su Yin really didn't expect that the evil god Lu Xuanji had suffered such a great disaster. In short, now that Lin Ge had made up his mind, he couldn't stop him. After all, it was also an opportunity. Su Yin thought about it, and decided to let nature take its course. Lin Ge left Qingdao that night. Except for Su Yin, no one else knew where he went. Su Yin didn't want others to worry about his health. But Su Yin didn't say it. It didn't mean that others couldn't see it. After Lin Ge left, Chou Yan immediately came to Su Yin. Before she spoke, Su-yin knew what she wanted to ask. If I can still cure it, then there's only one person who can. The pigeon has already gone to find him. Don't worry. Is he sure? Cho-yun asked worriedly. Of course, if he wasn't sure, I wouldn't have let him leave, right? Su-yin grinned and joked. I feel like a primary school student now. I need the protection of a guardian for everything. Unfortunately, I have too many guardians around me. I don't have freedom. Cho-yun rolled her eyes at Su-yun, annoyed and amused at the same time. What freedom do you want? You make it sound like I'm imprisoning you. Tomorrow, Guogwa wants to go to the beach, so Sister Shuang and Lin Suyin are teaching Guogwa to swim at the hotel's swimming pool. Do you want to go? It's up to you. I won't lock you in the room. Swimming pool. Su-yin was stunned and immediately said, Yes, of course. Are there a lot of bikini girls in the swimming pool? Cho-yun saw that Su-yin was still in the mood to joke, so she relaxed a lot. Of course Swameyan and Tangjio are there too. Just now, after Lin Go pulled you back to the room, Guogwa's instigation, they couldn't wait to go to the swimming pool to show off their bodies. What did Guogwa say? Su-yin smiled bitterly. No matter what, I'm also a woman. I understand how women think. Cho-yun shook her head helplessly. Because everyone knows that tomorrow, everyone will go to the beach together. So they all want to see if other people's bodies are good. They all want to know where their weaknesses and strengths are. So they can prepare swimsuits according to this point, and show a more perfect version of themselves in front of you. Su-yin pointed at his nose. In front of me? Does that mean that today is a rehearsal and tomorrow is the real show? Cho-yun nodded her head. What do you think? Su-yin rubbed his chin. Then I'd better not go today. Otherwise, there won't be a stunning feeling tomorrow. Phew. Just thinking about bringing all of you beauties to the bathing beach. My little heart is beating so fast. Up to you, Cho-yun said. Anyway, I'm going to the swimming pool. Chapter 828. The weather in June was obviously summer, and this could be seen from the girls' outfits. Not to mention the black stockings or fishnet socks on the streets, just the short shirts and hot pants were enough to make the energetic young men daydream. Guogwa was the first to propose the idea of bathing in the sea. She started to dress up early in the morning. Under the tutu skirt, Guogwa stood in front of the top beauties, like a moon surrounded by stars. Especially the hair that Ruan Qingshuang personally combed for her. The layers were distinct, and the shiny diamond hair clip definitely had the effect of adding the finishing touch. However, Guogwa still hoped that she could grow up a little earlier, and become like the beauties around her, because she felt that a girl could only be called a perfect woman when her body had matured. Although no one said so, Guogwa still called herself Princess Taiping to serve as a foil. Ruan Qingshuang was wearing a long dress that reached the ground, and her temperament was bursting. Although she was not born into a rich family, her temperament was definitely not comparable to the average girl from a rich family. Women who were beautiful on the inside would always be given high marks by others, and women who were beautiful on the inside and stunning on the outside were obviously the best in the eyes of men. Swameyan's outfit was even more eye-catching. Her hair was tied up and her proud temperament showed the essence of a queen. If an ordinary girl wore a light gray Hermes outfit, it would definitely look like Huang Debo's Hermes jumpsuit that he wore on the Spring Festival Gala. No matter how one looked at it, it would look like an ordinary worker. However, on Swameyan it was different. She was a supermodel. Tangjio's transformation was definitely the biggest among everyone. She wore a white Adidas short-sleeved shirt, small floral tights and retro New Balance sneakers. She directly threw away her usual professional image and returned to her original nature of a sporty girl. This was Su-yun's first impression of her. Because when they first met, Su-yun had stolen someone's bicycle to chase after a Mercedes-Benz. Other than perfection, it was hard to think of any other words to describe her. She was the kind of girl who was destined to be a fair-skinned, rich and beautiful girl. Like Swameyan, she also liked big brands and wore the same Hermes fashion. However, her classic black and white dress made her look younger and more energetic. Compared to the four of them, Cho-yun was much more low-key. She was still in her usual black and white dress. The biggest change was that her proud long hair had been cut short. However, Soo-yun had to admit that compared to long hair, Cho-yun's current short hair was more suitable. It made her look even colder and more arrogant. Phew. Guogwa sighed. She had failed miserably in this battle of beauty. I'm really going to be a supporting character. Look at all of you. All of you are stunning and have long legs. Fortunately, Sister Wonner didn't come. If she came, I wouldn't be able to survive. God is too unfair. If I was born 10 years earlier, I would have the capital to compete with you. Tisk, tsk, tsk. That's what they call easy for you. Zuo-mei-yen bent down and gently pinched Guogwa's little face. Guogwa, do you know what a woman's greatest capital is? A woman's greatest capital is youth. You have the age that all of us are envious of. If I were 10 years younger, I would be willing to exchange anything for it. Unfortunately, I can't be 10 years younger. Guogwa nodded seriously. That's true. It seems that I have the most advantage. Why is it that I have the advantage like you said, but Daddy's eyes are always wandering around your bodies? He doesn't even look at me. Soo-yun blushed at this little girl's words. Isn't it enough that I'm hugging you? After that, Soo-yun directly picked up Guogwa. You're getting more and more jealous now. Let's go. Ruan Qingxuang said. Guogwa, can't you wait to show Soo-yun your dog paddle? Guogwa shook her head with a headache. Daddy, I think they're not reliable when it comes to learning how to swim. It's better for you to teach me. I'm a mature woman, and I only learned the dog paddle after half a day. Isn't my swimming posture too ugly? Don't you think so? Don't worry. With Daddy here, I'm sure you can swim breaststroke, backstroke, butterfly, and freestyle. You can even learn synchronized swimming. Soo-yun strode in front of them with Guogwa in his arms. Zuo-mei-yen had already prepared an 11-seat business car and was waiting for them at the entrance of the hotel. The driver was none other than Wang Zhe. Brother Yin, long time no see. Wang Zhe smiled and greeted Soo-yun. After letting the beauties get in the car, Soo-yun opened the door of the front passenger seat and sat in. I didn't see you yesterday. Where did you go? Don't mention it. Initially, Chief Zwa asked me to rush back from Ji-Bei to have a drink with you yesterday. However, a large truck transporting daily necessities caught fire on the highway. The fire was too big. 2 fire trucks came and ran out of water, but they still could not put out the fire. They had to get water from the villagers nearby to put out the fire. It took more than 5 hours. When I rushed back yesterday, you were already resting. Soo-yun sighed and shook his head. The weather is dry. We really have to be careful of fire. I'm afraid that a cigarette, but can cause a big fire. Yes, yes. Wang Zhe nodded. Where's Zhuo Yeming? Didn't he come with you? Soo-yun asked. Wang Zhe chuckled and turned to look at Zuo-mei-yen. Without waiting for him to speak, Zuo-mei-yen said, That brat has been making me worry recently. I asked him to stay in the northern meadows for a few days to reflect. It will save me some trouble on the ribbon-cutting day of the film and television square. What happened to him? Soo-yun's curiosity was piqued. Seeing that Zuo-mei-yen was silent, Wang Zhe said, he can only blame himself for not being careful with his friends. A few days ago, he got a girlfriend. The 2 of them got drunk in a bar and went for a drive. In the end, the car flipped and crashed into a tree. Fortunately, he's fine. Only the car was destroyed. Soo-yun frowned. It was not a small matter to get into trouble while drunk driving. Mr. Zhuo was angry at that time. He really wanted to put him in jail for half a year. But in the end, he didn't have the heart to do it. Wang Zhe said. Fortunately, there were no casualties. This is a blessing in disguise. He decided to reflect on himself and reflect on his mistakes on the ribbon-cutting day of the film and television square. I support that, Soo-yun said. If we don't punish him this time, who knows what kind of trouble he will cause next time. Zuo-mei-yen shook her head helplessly. I tore up his driver's license at that time. I was so angry. If it weren't for the fact that I didn't want him to miss the ribbon-cutting day of the film and television square, I would have personally sent him to jail for a year and a half, so that he can remember this lesson. The few of them chatted and soon arrived at the beach. At around 10 in the morning, there were already many people immersed in the blue sea. Guogwa shouted excitedly before she got out of the car. The seaside was definitely not the same as the swimming pool. Chapter 829. For this trip to the bathing beach, Zhuo Meiyan had made ample preparations. There were 2 tents for changing clothes, 4 large umbrellas, and Wang Zhe had even rented a few reclining chairs. Then he quickly helped Su Yun set up the tents. After some preparations, the beauties entered the tents one after another to change clothes. Su Yun and Wang Zhe changed into their swimsuits much faster. After changing, they even bought ice cream from the ice cream stall nearby to cool down. On such a hot day, if they got a nosebleed due to excessive heat, it would be hard to explain the reason. After all, the sun and beach were in bikinis, and all they could see were white legs. It was really easy to get aroused. Wang Zhe stretched. I haven't been to the sea in a long time. When I was young, my grandmother's family was a fishing village. Every time I went there, I would stay in the sea for a few hours. I would only go home when my shoulders were peeling from the sun. Haha, I really miss it. Brother Yin, I'm going to swim for a while. Let's go together. I haven't been to the sea in a long time, Su Yun said. You'd better wait. Wang Zhe smiled mysteriously. They must have something they need your help with. It's all simple work, so I won't help you. Let's go. Su Yun didn't understand the meaning of Wang Zhe's mysterious smile for a long time. It wasn't until the beauties in the tent came out with sunscreen that he finally understood. Zhuo Meiyan handed a bottle of sunscreen for men to Su Yun. You men are so careless. The sun is so hot right now. Protect your skin. Where's Wang Zhe? Su Yun pointed at Wang Zhe, who was already in the sea. He can't wait. But it's okay. He's not white anyway. It's healthier for him to stay in the sun. Cho Yun had already started helping Guogua apply sunscreen. After Guogua arrived at the beach, her interest in learning how to swim was not as strong. She put more of her attention on the beach motorcycle. Driving that thing was really cool. Wan Qingshuang was not as bold and unrestrained, but the skirt-style swimsuit could not hide her perfect figure and fair skin. Cho Yun was also more conservative and wore a one-piece swimsuit. Zhuo Meiyan, Tang Jiu, and Lin Suyin were not so conservative. They were all wearing bikinis, which almost shocked the people around the beach. Wan Qingshuang was so careful. She knew that Su Yun couldn't apply sunscreen on his back, so she asked Guogua to help him. Guogua looked at the beach motorcycle absent-mindedly while applying sunscreen to Su Yun's father. The beauties carefully took care of every inch of their skin. This waterproof sunscreen was not cheap. Soon, Zhuo Meiyan was the first to deal with her skin. She said to Su Yun without hesitation, "It's your turn to serve the ladies. I can't apply it on my back." After that, she directly handed the sunscreen to Su Yun. How could Su Yun refuse? This was the small job that Wang Zhe said they needed his help with. The girls didn't care about it, so what was there for Su Yun to be afraid of? Wipe it then, it wasn't a big deal. With the first start, Lin Suyin made the same decision as Zhuo Meiyan. Zhuo Meiyan deliberately smiled and said, "You can also apply it to each other. Su Yun's hands are stronger. I think it's better for him to do this," Lin Suyin said. "Besides, letting him look at the beauties for free is such a big advantage. He should also pay a little labor." Wan Qingshuang smiled helplessly. No matter how she looked at it, Su Yun was taking advantage of her. However, even she wanted Su Yun to help her apply sunscreen, let alone the others. Except for Cho Yun's swimsuit, which meant that she didn't need the service on her back, everyone else needed it. Cho Yun knew that Guogua couldn't wait to go to the beach motorcycle, so she left with her first. Su Yun could only put on sunscreen for the 4 beauties one by one without complaint. If this job was given to anyone, wouldn't it be a hard job that they would be willing to do even if they had to break their heads? Just as Su Yun was seriously applying sunscreen on Lin Suyin's back, 2 young men in swimming trunks came over with bad intentions. Su Yun knew from the beginning that something would happen. With these 4 beauties, it would be strange if they didn't attract attention. "Brother, you can't handle it alone, right?" The guy who spoke was wearing a gold chain around his neck and had jade-piercing fingers. He didn't look like a low-key person. "Haha, since we're fated to meet, let's be friends. We seem to be around the same age. Brother, what's your name?" Without waiting for Su Yun to speak, Lin Suyin frowned and said, "If you don't want to cause trouble, get lost." "Yo, this little temper of yours is really something." The other person wasn't low-key either. It could be seen from the 7 earrings on his ears. Sister, do you know who my brother is? Haha, it seems like you don't know. If you knew, you wouldn't dare to speak so arrogantly. The young man with the jade ring on his finger smiled. Let me introduce myself first. I'm Li Tian. This is my cousin Li Yiwei. Maybe you don't know who I am when I say this, but if I mention my father, I'm afraid you won't be unfamiliar with him. Firstly, we don't want to know who your father is. Secondly, we don't want to know who you are either. Ruan Qingshuang was no longer the yes-woman who would tremble in fear when she met hooligans. After going through so many things, she was much more capable. We don't want to be disturbed. Do you understand what I mean? Li Yiwei licked his lips and touched his chin. Hee brother, I realize that these girls today are quite tasty. I like them. Can you have some manners? We're not hooligans. Li Yiqian glared and pretended to be a good guy. We're all out to play. It's fate that we can meet. Look at you, hooligan. Do you still want to be friends? Li Yiqian was much smarter than his cousin. Being able to bring so many beautiful girls out proved that Su Yin wasn't an ordinary person. Therefore, Li Yiqian really came here to make friends with Su Yin. Maybe they all had the same hobbies. It wouldn't be bad to share the resources around them. Seeing that Su Yin didn't react, Li Yiqian pointed to the girls not far away and said, "Those girls are our friends. We're all young people. Men and women are just interacting. There's no need to be so reserved." Su Yin finally showed a smile. I found a problem. You second-generation Li really like to trick your father. Who's your father? Is he a high-ranking official or a local hooligan? As far as I know, the secretary of Guqin Island isn't surnamed Li. The big brother of Guqin Island isn't surnamed Li either. I advise you to listen to them and leave as soon as possible. Don't cause trouble for yourself. Chapter 830. Oh my god. This is a big shot. Su Yin was stunned for a moment. Really, when this kid mentioned his father's name, no one didn't know. Li Shuanggong was definitely a news figure. He became an internet celebrity because of his child's drunk driving incident. Later, his child was exposed by netizens in a bar. Of course, he wasn't easy to deal with. The watch on his hand was exposed to be worth hundreds of thousands. Anyway, he was directly expelled from the organization because of a bunch of negative news. He also lost his membership. It was just unexpected that the son of the leader that everyone thought had fallen was still so arrogant. He still dared to use his name to flaunt his prowess and act tyrannically. This proved the saying, a starving camel is still bigger than a horse. Although Li Shuanggong was nothing now, his family background was strong and his network was powerful. Even if he was expelled from the organization, he was still doing well in society. Relying on his connections and the resources he had always lived a good life. He was no longer afraid of being exposed for wearing a branded watch. How about it? Are you scared? Li Yiqian saw that Su Yin didn't speak, so he snorted. I also gave you face, so I came to make friends with you. Isn't the current society like this? One more friend means one more path. One more enemy means one more pit. I didn't come to find trouble with you. Then why did you come to me? Su Yin was really interested to hear what this kid meant. Come to make friends? Do you think I will believe you? Li Yiqian nodded. You really don't believe me. I came to you to make friends. If we get along well, then let's be brothers. It is said that brothers are like hands and feet, and women are like clothes. The relationship between us brothers is good. Then we can change clothes when we have nothing to do. Resources can be shared. What do you think? This kid really had a hidden meaning in his words. In the end, he was provoked by the beauties around Su Yin. With beauties around, there would always be some trouble. Su Yin was used to this. Li Yiwei also laughed and said, My brother has never given anyone face like this before. Brother, you are the first. Don't pretend to be confused. The girls around you are all top-notch, but ours aren't bad either. Let's get to know each other. Come to my house tonight and have some fun. We'll wear this and have a swimsuit party. I guarantee you'll have a good night. Tang Jiu was disgusted at the sight of this person's filthy face. He immediately rebuked. Shut your mouth. No one wants to hear you speak. Yo, the girls around you are quite aggressive. Brother, how did you train them? Li Yiwei still recklessly said to Su Yun. Su Yun looked at him with disdain. Don't compare them with the trash around you. You'll regret what you just said. Don't blame me for not warning you. If it wasn't for his current physical condition that prevented him from doing strenuous exercise, Su Yun would have already slapped the two annoying flies away. Why would he waste so much time talking to them? Are you trying to scare me? So what if I said it? Women are all the same. In this society, who doesn't know that whoever has money and power is the sleeping beauty? Li Yiwei said. If you were a loser, you wouldn't have so many girls by your side. Don't pretend to be a good young man. We're all the same type of people. These girls are also the same type of people as our girls. Why are you pretending? Zhuo Meiyan shook her head helplessly. I didn't want to do anything, but your mouth is too foul. What? What can you do to me? When Li Yiwei heard Zhuo Meiyan's words, he put his hands on his waist and puffed out his chest. I like the way you are. You must be very sexy in bed. Ouch. Before Li Yiwei could say the word slut, Zhuo Meiyan had already kicked him in the crotch. Let alone an ordinary person. Even an expert would be bedridden for at least half a year after being kicked by Zhuo Meiyan like this. I'm afraid no one likes someone like you now. You must be a piece of trash in bed. Zhuo Meiyan said disapprovingly. My Tianqin has already advised you to shut up, but you still didn't stop. It's too late to regret it now. Li Yitian saw that the other party was so ruthless. Naturally, he was so scared that his anus tightened. Then he looked at Li Yiwei, who was holding his crotch and rolling on the beach, and felt his balls ache. She won't be merciful. If you still want your cousin to have fun in bed with you in the future, then take him to the hospital as soon as possible, Su Yun said. I can't guarantee that he will be cured or not, but at least it's better than being a cripple. Li Yitian was obviously unwilling, but he couldn't watch his brother become a cripple like this. The girls who came to the beach with them saw that something had happened, and they all took their things and left. They were all peripheral girls, and no one wanted to get into trouble. Okay, you guys have guts. Just you wait. Li Yitian said. You think my dad can't do it now, right? Okay, I'll let you know what it means to say that a starving camel is bigger than a horse. Even big brother Shirley has to give my dad some face. Just you wait. Don't leave if you have guts. You can call for help, but let's see who's afraid of whom. Just one word from my dad, and Shirley will bring people to deal with you. Su Yun nodded. Don't worry about this. We just arrived and we won't leave. You must ask Shirley to bring people here personally. If Shirley would give his father Li Shuanggang 30% of his face, then he would give Su Yun 300% of his face. He also had something to say to Shirley. The last time they met, Shirley said that if he could see CFAI's, he would pass a message to him. Now that Su Yun had CFAI's contact number, he also needed to tell Shirley. After all, this big brother of Qingdao was quite loyal and gave him face. Are we in trouble? Lin Suyin frowned. Are we really going to continue playing here? Should we change to a bathing beach? There's nothing to be afraid of, Zhuo Meiyan said. You still have me. You can relax and enjoy the mainland's ocean. See if it's any different from Taiwan. Lin Suyin denied. I'm not afraid. I just don't want to be disturbed by them later. They won't. I promise. Su Yin, let's go. Guogua is still waiting for me to teach her freestyle. It's rare to have a chance to enjoy this sunny beach bikini. I definitely won't let anyone disturb my mood, haha. WanQingshuang and Tang Jiu of course didn't care. Even if there were gangsters looking for trouble later, Wang Zhe could handle it alone. There was nothing to worry about. Their priority now was to enjoy the sun and the ocean. Chou Yun and Guogua also got off the beach motorcycle and gathered. Guogua gave a thumbs up. Aunt Zua, that kick just now was beautiful. Zhuo Meiyan shook her head helplessly. Why do you call Tang Jiu and Chou Yun sister, but call me aunt? Am I that old? That's not it, Guogua said. It's just because you're older than my mom or Wan. They're all younger. Chapter 831. Su Yin, teach me backstroke. Can you help me support my waist? Otherwise, I'm worried that I won't be able to float. Su Yin, teach me butterfly stroke. Just help me hold my breasts. I'm worried that I'll choke on the seawater. Su Yin, I want to learn breaststroke. Dive down and see if my posture is right. See if my thighs are in place. Su Yin had just taught Guogua a second swimming posture other than doggy paddle, when he was surrounded by beauties. Other than Ruan Qingshuang's request to help support her waist, Lin Suyin and Zhua Meiyin's requests were probably a little impure. At least, Su Yin's blood was boiling when he heard it. The bikinis on the beauties were already enough for Su Yin to control. Wang Zhe, come and help me. Go down and see if your boss's thighs are in place. Su Yin was speechless. He could only drag Wang Zhe in to alleviate the awkward situation of being surrounded by beauties. Zhua Meiyin glared at him. Wang Zhe didn't dare to dive into the water. Wang Zhe didn't want to get into trouble, and quickly found an excuse to leave. You must all be thirsty. I'll go up and buy some shaved ice for you. You can go up and cool it down at any time. You know that I love cherry-flavored shaved ice. Zhua Meiyin was very satisfied with Wang Zhe's adaptability. Tell the cold drink stall owner to put less sugar and more natural freshly squeezed fruit juice. I don't eat shaved ice mixed with food coloring and saccharin. Of course, it must be made with freshly squeezed fruit juice. Wang Zhe nodded vigorously. I want strawberry flavored. Guogua didn't stand on ceremony and directly ordered. Since Guogua had already chosen her flavor, Wang Zhe's gaze swept across the crowd. Strawberry, cherry, mango, kiwi. Anyway, there were several flavors. To be honest, he was really worried that the boss selling shaved ice didn't have so many fresh fruits. However, looking at the sign of the shaved ice shop, it should be comparable to the Häagen-Dazs of the ice cream industry. For the time being, he believed in the ability of this shaved ice shop. As long as the shaved ice was not mixed with food coloring and saccharin, it did not matter even if it was 10 times more expensive. The food he ate had to be healthy. The current situation in Huaxia was that housing prices were high and there was no land. The sky was not blue, the food was not green, and the tap water could not be drunk directly. One had to be careful when eating. Although it could prevent gutter oil fried dough sticks, it couldn't prevent gutter oil fried instant noodles. Although it could prevent melamine added milk powder, it couldn't prevent health supplements that couldn't kill people. In fact, the food coloring added to shaved ice paled in comparison to some unscrupulous businesses. Food safety checks were done every day, but the exposure of unqualified products never stopped. Since 2014, things like Bigley brand Spicy Crisp and Old Sugar Shop's salt and salt fried dough twists started to be found to be unqualified. Canned cherries and Invisible Treasure snow pear flavored carbonated drinks followed closely behind. Soon, a batch of edible mushroom canned food produced by Yanjing Shanda Food Company, Limited, and a batch of candied dates produced by Yanjing Fulajia Food Company, Limited, were all affected. A batch of Tsungjintang Shitang mushroom sauce produced by Yanjing Fuwei Food Company, Limited, was definitely not edible. If one were to talk about black-hearted businesses now, it would definitely not be those who were selling soy sauce, but those who were making soy sauce. The random inspection results showed that 14% of the factories were unqualified. In the future, if anyone was bored, don't say that they were selling soy sauce. It really boosted the arrogance of these black-hearted bosses. It had to be said that you get what you pay for. These shaved ice that cost a few dozen yuan was definitely the real deal. Compared to the shaved ice that cost a few yuan, it was like heaven and earth. Su Yin led the beauties ashore. After being soaked in the sea for a long time, the beauties started the major project of applying sunscreen. But this time, Su Yin was experienced. He stayed far away from the beginning to avoid being ordered to apply sunscreen. This was a good job, but it was easy to be envied by others. It was just that it didn't feel good to be stared at by jealous eyes. After receiving the shaved ice, the girls hid under the parasols and enjoyed the sea breeze. Su Yin also ate energetically. Such a carefree day was really getting shorter and shorter. We seemed to be in trouble. Lin Suyin actually didn't want to be disturbed, but there were some things that she couldn't decide. I already said that we should change to a bathing place, so that we won't be interrupted again. An hour and a half ago, Li Yitian, who had left with his cousin who had his manhood kicked, returned to the bathing place again. This time he didn't come alone. Looking at the more than 10 people behind him, he knew that this matter wasn't that simple. Obviously, the big brother that Li Yiqian invited was quite domineering. He wore sunglasses on his face, had bright hair, and looked like he could hold back 10,000 people. Even the people in the management office of the bathing place could see that these people didn't come with good intentions at a glance, but they didn't dare to come forward to stop them. The local tourists of Qingdao would take a step further away, and they all looked quite scared. Su Yun smiled slightly. Trouble was coming, but it wasn't his trouble. Brother Lei, it's this guy's bitch who kicked you away. You have to help me get back my face no matter what. Li Yiqian hadn't arrived yet, but he pointed in the direction of Su Yun and scolded. Who else could the big brother next to him be if it wasn't Shirlei? Shirlei looked in the direction that Li Yiqian pointed and was stunned. He hurriedly took off his sunglasses and rubbed his eyes. At that moment, his face was full of joy. He really didn't expect to see Su Yun again so soon. Haha. Shirlei was so happy that he didn't care so much about Li Yiqian. He immediately sped up and rushed forward. Li Yiqian was still nervous. He didn't expect Shirlei to be more anxious than him when he saw a beauty. He couldn't help but go forward to do things. He didn't take so many people in the bathing place seriously. At least, don't go too far. Take her away first, find a place where there is no one, and take care of her slowly. Thinking of this, Li Yiqian also sped up and chased after him. It didn't matter if he chased after him, but Li Yiqian was stunned. Shirlei walked in front of him, and not only did he not get angry, he even gave him a warm hug. Brother Yin, I really didn't expect to see you again so soon. We are really fated. I passed by the film and television plaza a few days ago, and saw that it was almost completed. I was wondering when you would come to Qingdao again. This is really fate. Su Yun was also happy. At first, when this kid said that he wanted you to deal with me, I was worried that he was bragging. He did me a favor, so I won't argue with him about the previous matter. At this time, Shirlei's trusted subordinates also came forward and respectfully greeted Su Yun. Brother Yun. Chapter 832. Lei. Brother Lei, what's going on? Do you know this person? Li Yiqian stared with his eyes wide open. He spent so much effort to find Brother He, who was the most powerful person in Guqin Island, but he was friends with the kid he had to deal with. Where could he put his face? No matter what, Shirlei had to settle today's matter for him. Brother Lei, I can't care so much today. Even if you know this person, I can't give them face. That woman kicked Yue until he was crippled. If I don't teach them a lesson, how can I explain it to my family? Even if you don't give face to the monk, give face to the Buddha. You have to cripple this person today, right? Shirlei's face was a little ugly. He seemed to be quite dissatisfied with Li Yiqian's words and actions. His eyebrows knitted together. Li Yiqian, you really found the wrong person today. Let me put it this way. For the sake of the friendship between your father and me, I'll give him face and not bicker with you today. My brother Yin is also a magnanimous person. You'd better stay away and don't provoke them again. Otherwise I won't give face. Li Yiqian's face changed drastically. Brother Lei, what do you mean? Seeing that my father has no power now, right? You don't have to hit him when he's down, right? You changed your face a little too quickly. Everyone says that Guqin Island's Shirlei is loyal. I think your so-called loyalty is just that. You're a coward when you meet someone more powerful than my family? Hearing Li Yiqian's words, Shirlei's underlings couldn't control their emotions. A few of them were slightly impulsive and wanted to beat him up. Shirlei was a big brother after all. He could keep his cool and raised his hand slightly to signal his underlings not to be too impulsive. After all, this was the bathing area, and Li Yiqian was not a stranger. Kid, I'm just giving face to your father. That's why I said this to you. Shirlei said. I'll say it for the last time. You provoked the wrong person today. If you think I'm looking down on Brother Li, then go back and tell him. I can't fall out with my brother Yin because of your Li family. We're not on the same level, understand? Not on the same level. In Shirlei's eyes, other than his close brothers, who else could be so important? In any case, Li Yiqian didn't believe it. He pointed at Zuomeian's nose and said, Fine, then at least let me deal with this woman. He's the one who crippled my cousin. Shirley looked at Zhuo Meiyan and laughed awkwardly. Then he said to Li Yiqian in a stern voice, I told you that you can't afford to offend her. If you want to cause trouble for yourself, I won't stop you. But don't blame me for not warning you. If you dare to touch any of them, I won't be polite to you. Although Li Yiqian was not afraid of Su Yin and the others, he still had some misgivings toward Shirley. Even when his father was in power, he would at most call Shirley brother, not to mention now that he was ordered to resign. The only reason Shirley could give him face was because of their friendship in the past. The crew cut guy next to Shirley stepped forward and stopped in front of Li Yiqian. Brother Lei said that you shouldn't get into trouble again. It was better for everyone to leave as soon as possible. Even your father doesn't want to see you get into trouble with Brother Lei's friends. These words were not false at all. Although Li Shuanggong's life was not bad now, he would definitely not be stupid enough to provoke Shirley to the point of seeking his own death. Okay, Brother Lei, today's matter is because of you. Otherwise what? Guoguo was already unhappy with him. Look at you. Weren't you quite arrogant just now? If you have the ability, then fight with my Aunt Zhuo. You're a man, you shouldn't be afraid of a woman, right? Guoguo's provocation really made Zhuo Meiyan not know whether to laugh or cry. But Li Yiqian was really afraid of Zhuo Meiyan, who knew if this woman would suddenly cripple him with a kick. He didn't want to experience the feeling of his balls exploding. He might not be able to be a pure man for the rest of his life. This was worse than killing him. Fine. You have the ability. You have the guts. Today's matter is over. In the future, we'll go our separate ways. Li Yiqian angrily shook his head. Brother Lei, fine. I have nothing to say today. Our relationship is just like this. Before Li Yiqian left, Shirley only said one sentence to him. I've given your father enough face. In the future, if you get into trouble, don't come looking for me. If you have nothing to do, think about the meaning of my words. Li Yiqian's body stiffened. This was definitely not good news for him. He had gotten into big trouble several times before. Ordinary people couldn't solve it, but Shirley always covered it for him with one sentence. For example, more than a month ago, he took a drunk woman to a hotel in Lan Guifang. He didn't expect that the girl was the daughter of an old ruffian on Qin Island. This matter was definitely big. If Shirley didn't speak up for him, the other party would have chopped off his penis and fed it to the dogs no matter what. If his father, Li Shuanggong, was still in power, no one would dare to say such things to him. At most, they would just have to pay some money. Taking a drunk woman to a hotel and a bar was not a big deal. Even if he took his cousin and friends to do something, it would at most be taking turns to have sex. What was the big deal? But now it was different. The public opinion of the netizens had ousted his father. He could only rely on his father's strength to run rampant for a few more years. When his father's remaining power was gone, he could only stay in the institution that was arranged to take care of him and muddle along for the rest of his life. At most, he could only become a deputy director. Now that he had gotten himself into trouble, there were still people like Shirley who would help him out because of his relationship with his father. However, Shirley's words just now made it clear that he would not help him clean up his mess anymore. Although Shirley was a particular person, it was impossible for him to clean up Li Yiqian's mess again, and again in the past 6 months. To put it bluntly, he was out to make a living, not a philanthropist. Looking at Li Yiqian's back as he left dejectedly, he could only say that a pitiful person must have something to hate. Brother Lei, regardless of whether today's coincidental meeting is fate or not, I have something to tell you. Su Yin. It's something that you definitely want to hear. Shirley was stunned. What was the news that he wanted to hear? Could it be that Brother Yin is going to settle down in Qingdao in the future? Shirley guessed. Su Yin laughed. If this counts, then I'm at least half a Qingdao citizen. After all, the movie plaza has taken root here. I'll come here often in the future. If there's a suitable house, I hope that Brother Lei can help me take care of it. Don't worry about that. There's definitely no problem, Shirley said. There's a villa in Zhongshan Park for me. I'll give you one directly. Su Yun smiled slightly. I'm sorry. It's okay, I'm not embarrassed. Guogua smiled. Su Yin gestured for Wan Qingshuang to carry Guoguo away and said to Shirley, "The news that I want to tell you is that I met Xie Fei's in Taiwan some time ago. I also got his contact information. If you need it, I can give it to you now." Chapter 833. Shirley was excited when he got Xie Fei's number. Although he wanted to call and greet him as soon as possible, he didn't know what to say in front of so many people. He thought about it and put his phone away. It wouldn't be too late to call and greet his benefactor when there was no one around. "Brother Yin, I'm so excited to meet you. Coincidentally, I have something to discuss with you." Shirley chuckled. "I see that the film and television plaza has been built. It's so big. The main venue is surrounded by film and television studios. You're really going to create an Oriental Hollywood." Su Yin nodded. "We're confident that we can make Qingdao one of the bases for producing the most movies in the world. This place is blessed by nature. It's an urbanized city, famous mountains and seas, and Huaxia's largest sea bridge. These are the advantages of the location. If we perfect the film and television plaza, we'll naturally attract filmmakers to join Sky Entertainment. Sky Entertainment's strength is absolute. I really admire you, Brother Yin. Your dream and the things you're doing are all for the glory of Huaxia." Shirley gave a thumbs up. "I'm thinking that such a big film and television plaza definitely needs a unified and perfect security system. I wonder if you've signed a contract with any security company?" Su Yin didn't know about this. He looked back at Zuomeian. "Do you have any security companies?" "We do, but we haven't signed a contract yet. I think the film and television plaza needs a security team of at least 100 people," Zuomeian said. "Otherwise, it'll be difficult to guarantee the security of such a big place. Also, I hope that the security guards will all have military experience. We don't need to do any physical training." Su Yin had to admit that Zuomeian's consideration was very thorough. "Brother Lei, if you know any security companies that can meet Boss's requirements, you must introduce them to me." "Haha, you're the most familiar with Qingdao." Shirley smiled. "I brought this up because I wanted to talk to you about this problem." Zuomeian was also interested and sat beside Su Yin. Shirley continued. "The last time we met, I had already set up a security company. My main purpose was very clear. Many people who had retired from the army and returned home couldn't find suitable jobs. Furthermore, they were in their prime and needed to support their families. They were full of passion and energy. I thought that the security company could provide them with a platform. It just so happens that we have acquaintances in the public security system, so this matter was quickly settled." Su Yin. "That's a good thing, Brother Lei. You've helped the country solve a lot of jobs." "Sigh, things really don't go smoothly." Shirley shook his head helplessly. "Since then, I've recruited more than 160 retired brothers with top-notch physiques. Originally, I thought that the security company could do well, but later I found out that most of the units that need security have signed long-term contracts with the previous security company. And other than the supermarket, the places that need security basically do not need more than 3 to 5 security guards. You still haven't arranged for your people to be sent out." Su Yin was stunned. Shirley nodded. "That's right. I've been undergoing strict security system training. Although I could have used some tricks to get my people to replace the other party's people, I'm not afraid of signing a contract. There's nothing I can do about it with my fists. But later I thought about it and realized that it was meaningless. My people would be sent to work, but it would also cause the other person to lose his job. One for one, there's no point in doing so." Su Yin agreed. "But I didn't give up. I paid them and continued the training. Now these brothers all understand me," Shirley said. "Those who understand me also know that I'm doing this out of kindness. They're too embarrassed to continue working here, but I really want them to have a good way out. A few days ago, I happened to see that the film and television plaza was about to be completed, so I thought of you." Su Yin smiled. "Brother Lei, you really helped us solve another problem." Shirley was stunned. "Since Su Yin has already made the decision, I'll prepare the contract." Zuomeian said. "Boss, sure, we'll be partners in the future. I've already reserved everyone in your security company." After signing the contract, they can immediately go to work at the film and television plaza. Shirley felt a wave of gratitude. It was clearly Soo-Yun who helped him solve a big problem, but Soo-Yun insisted that he was the one who helped him. Brother Yin, I'm a person who believes in fate. The fortune teller said that I have a benefactor helping me in this life. You're my benefactor. Everyone takes what they need. Soo-Yun smiled. It's not that exaggerated. However, Brother Lei, I have a request. I let your security company's people enter the film and television plaza to do security work, but it doesn't mean that I won't observe them. If they don't do it well, I won't let them stay because of your face. You don't have to worry about that. My people are all high-quality retired soldiers. They're definitely not a bunch of trash recruited from society. Shirley said, if you have any requests, just tell me. We're brothers, but cooperation is cooperation. If you have any requests, you can put them in the contract. I don't have many requests. I just want my people to eat the average salary in this industry. I don't plan on making a lot of money from this security company. Zuomayan smiled. Boss, sure, my contract will be very detailed. You must read it carefully, and then let your people read it. Since they're working at Sky Entertainment, they'll have to endure a strict management system. Of course, they won't do it for free. The salary I can give them will definitely be the highest in the entire Qingdao security industry. However, the service I want will definitely be the best in the entire Qingdao security industry. You don't have any objections to that, right? Shirley nodded vigorously. No objections. Boss Suo, whatever you say, will do it. I'll do my best. In the future, the film and television plaza will become a landmark of Qingdao. Su-Yin said. It should be equipped with the best security system. Brother Lei, meeting you today was really a big gain. In the blink of an eye, you've taken care of my security. Shirley's heart was blooming with laughter. How about this? I'll treat you to lunch today. Brother Yin and the other beauties. Can you give me some face? After lunch, I'll take you to my security company to have a look. Although our scale isn't that big, and we only have 160 security guards, it's not bad to have started out like this. You guys can give me a rating and give me some suggestions. Zuomayan nodded. That's a good suggestion. Guogua, you've been swimming for so long. Are you hungry? Guogua nodded. Chapter 834. According to Shirley's plan, today's meal was to be taken care of. There would be at least 28 main dishes plus ginseng abalone and bird's nest. However, Su-Yin did not want to be so extravagant and wasteful. Even though Operation Disc had long passed, he had to admit that the amount of food wasted on Huaxia's dining table was terrifying. If everyone thought of the children in the mountainous areas who could not eat before ordering, they would not order to make up the numbers for the sake of face, right? Huaxia people liked to even numbers. It could be seen on the dining table. The general standard would start from 12 dishes. 16, 18, 22, 26, 28. All of them were nice numbers with 6s and 8s. In terms of alcohol, Su-Yin did not ask him to bring any Wuliangya or Sky Blue. It was just a few cans of Qingdao beer. After all, it was noon and the weather was hot. Drinking some beer was just to cool down the heat. There was no point in drinking white wine. Everything was simple. It was just a simple meal. But in reality, how much could 8, 9, or 10 people eat? In addition to drinking, chatting, and finally asking for some staple food that they could only look at but not eat, there would usually be a lot left even if there were more than 10 dishes, let alone 28 dishes. More than 2/3 of it would definitely be thrown into the trash can. A person of Shirley's status would definitely not choose to take it all away. Even today, when Su-Yin did not want him to set such a high standard, it made him feel like he had lost face. However, after listening to Su-Yun's explanation, he suddenly became more enlightened. Thinking about the food he wasted all year round, he really had the urge to slap his own mouth. Brother Yin, listening to your words is better than studying for 10 years. Shirley said, from today onwards, I will definitely not waste my food. I will take the leftovers home. I will use the remaining money to contact a few Hope primary schools and participate in poverty alleviation. We are not university students. If we can nurture a few university students, It can be considered as making up for the sins I have committed over the years. Brother Lei's awareness is really high. Su Yun could not help but smile. I really did not make the wrong choice as a friend. Let's have a toast. You have someone to be your chauffeur, and I have someone to be my chauffeur. You can't rely on luck when it comes to drunk driving. When Shirley heard this, he looked at Wang Zhe in embarrassment. Then, what would Brother Wang like to drink? You're too strict as a boss. What's wrong with a few bottles of beer? Zhou Yiming had gotten into trouble because of his drunk driving. Now no one would dare to cause trouble in front of Zhou Meiyan. Wang Zhe didn't like alcohol that much, so he waved his hand and said, Brother Shirley, you don't have to be so polite. Let's not drink beer. Hearing Wang Zhe's words, Zhou Meiyan was quite satisfied. She smiled and said, Give me the car keys. I'll drive in a while. If you want to drink, then drink. Don't hold back. I haven't seen many men who can resist the temptation of cold beer in the summer. Wang Zhe smiled sheepishly. Zhou Meiyan really understood him. Give me the car keys. Ruan Qingshuang smiled and said, Meiyan, I'm sure your alcohol tolerance isn't bad. If you want to drink, you can drink a little. Beer was not harmful to the body, so he should drink less. I'll be your chauffeur later. Qingshuang, that's not a 5-seater family car. Your C license won't allow you to drive it. During this period of time, Zhou Meiyan's relationship with Ruan Qingshuang had undergone a qualitative change. At least from the way they addressed each other, Su Yun could tell that their relationship had become much closer. Ruan Qingshuang exclaimed. Then she really couldn't do anything. What are you afraid of? Let's all drink. Shirley said generously. Leave the chauffeur to me. In a while, I'll call someone to be your chauffeur. With Shirley's words, everyone relaxed. It was summer, after all, and ice beer was indeed refreshing from the throat all the way to the heart. Even Guogua couldn't help but drink a big mouthful of beer foam. She smacked her lips and found that it tasted much worse than fruit juice. She really couldn't understand why everyone still wanted to drink it. Lunch was quickly eaten. At about 1:30, they left the restaurant and went to Shirley's security company. From the first time Su Yun saw the security guards, he felt a sense of familiarity. They stood in a standard cross-legged position. Horizontally, vertically, or even diagonally, they were all in a straight line. They didn't bend at all. This was the demeanor of Huaxiao's soldiers. Although these people had retired from the army, they still had that indelible toughness in their bones. Zhou Meiyan had to admit, this is the best security company I've ever seen. If you didn't tell me, I would have mistakenly thought that I'd entered the wrong place. Boss sure, it seems that we've signed the contract. Shirley was very grateful to them for giving his brothers a chance. Everyone listen up. For such a long time, I haven't been able to send you to a suitable job. But I promise that as long as you're my brothers, I'll definitely solve the problem for you. The person standing in front of you right now is my benefactor, and also my brother. His name is Su Yun. The female bosses beside him are all our benefactors. Starting tomorrow, you can start working at the Sky Entertainment Group's film and television base in Qingdao. Once you're there, you'd better perform well. Yes. This answer could be described as clean, nimble, and deafening. Su Yun stepped forward and gave a standard salute. We're all fated to meet. I'll leave the security of the film and television base to you guys. Seeing the young boss in front of them salute so well, it was obvious that he was also from the army. Everyone felt warm in their hearts. Boss sure, we haven't signed the contract yet. You should at least mention the conditions, such as salary and benefits. Zhou Meiyan smiled. I don't know what to do with this. I brought you here so that we can talk about this in front of everyone, Yi Zichen said. Shirley said. Brothers, as you all know, the average salary of a security guard on Qingdao is not more than 1,800 yuan. Boss Zhou told you to do your best, so she'll give you the best treatment. I'll mention it on your behalf. Our quality is better than any other security company. I'll apply for a salary of 2,800 yuan a month. I won't appoint a squad leader or captain. After you go, whoever does well and gets Boss Zhou's approval will be the squad leader or captain. Boss Zhou will at least give the squad leader or captain a salary of 3,500 yuan. Shirley was indeed an upright person. The fact that he chose to speak in front of everyone showed that he didn't want to use this security company to make money. Good. Since boss sure said so, I won't be polite, Zhuo Meiyan said straightforwardly. As I said, when you go to Sky Entertainment, you have to follow Sky Entertainment's rules. Everyone's basic salary will be 3,200 yuan. You don't have to worry about insurance and other benefits. I only have one condition, and that is to do your best. After a month, I'll recommend 10 squad leaders to lead 10 teams. The squad leader's salary will be 4,500 yuan. After 3 months, I'll choose a captain from the 10 squad leaders. The captain's salary will be over 100,000 yuan. Chapter 835. Then, Ruan Qingshuang added, the premise is that the competition must be fair. No one should think about hegemony. Once I find out that someone has broken the harmony of the security team, he will be fired immediately and will never be hired again. This is my principle and bottom line. I hope that no one will touch it. I can increase your salary every year. This will depend on your overall performance. That's what I want to say too. If anyone destroys the stability and unity of the team for the sake of power, I, Shirley, will be the first to punish him. Shirley said, I hope that the leader of the brothers can be a real leader, and not a scheming person. This is my only request. Brother Lei, how about this tomorrow at 9 a.m.? Bring everyone to the movie plaza. Su Yin said, I will arrange for people to measure and weigh everyone and prepare work clothes for everyone. The ribbon-cutting ceremony at the movie plaza is about to begin. I hope that on that day, everyone will be in a good state of mind to complete their security duties. Zhuo Meiyan added. At that time, I need everyone to be 120% alert. After the ribbon-cutting ceremony, everyone will be given a bonus of 500 yuan. There will be a lot of international and domestic A-list stars on that day. There will be a lot of spectators. The guarantee of a safe passage is your top priority. Although the contract had not been signed, it was clear that everyone had a deep understanding of their future boss. They replied in unison. This quality was really impeccable. There was only one word to describe it: awesome. To be more confident, this was definitely the best security team in all of Huaxia. Brother Lei, that's it for today. See you tomorrow, Su Yin said. Today, I think you should let the brothers relax. During this period of time, you have been under a lot of pressure. They must be under a lot of pressure too. Today, they can finally put down a big stone in their hearts. Everyone should also relax. This was true. Even if Su Yin did not say it, Shirley would have taken these 160 brothers to relax. Everyone would eat, drink, take a bath, and enjoy themselves. After leaving the security company, Shirley arranged for his men to drive everyone back to their hotel. As soon as Su Yin returned to his room, Tangjiu knocked on Su Yin's door. The construction of the movie plaza had been completed. Tangjiu's efforts were not in vain. Things here have come to an end. I should return to Jibei. When Tangjiu spoke, she was somewhat reluctant. Su Yin had helped her a lot. After the Hudong Artificial River Project and the Qingdao Film and Television Plaza Project, she had grown a lot. Su Yin smiled. Aren't you going to give yourself a holiday and have a good rest? I have indeed thought about this problem. Tangjiu said, I also want to bring Guogua and invite Sister Shuang and the others to go on a vacation in Hawaii and have fun for a while. It's just that there are still some things in the company that I haven't settled yet. Once I'm done, I'll invite you to join me. Besides, I'm afraid that you won't be able to leave now. Once the construction of the movie plaza is completed, there will be a lot of things to deal with after the ribbon-cutting ceremony. To be honest, Su Yin, I think that you should share some of Sister Meiyan's burdens. Even though she is a strong woman, she is still a woman. She needs a man to rely on and feel safe. This seemed to be what Tangjiu was thinking. Didn't she also need a man to give her a sense of security? Obviously, Su Yin was their pillar of support. Even if they didn't need him to do anything, as long as they knew that he was there, they would feel safe and secure. That kind of feeling was something that no one else could give them. Tangjiu had a very deep impression of this. Whether it was the Qingdao Film and Television Plaza project or the Hudong Artificial River project, because of Su Yun, Tang Jiu had been very steadfast in her work. Now that the Tang Group had taken over the Nanling Opera House project, even though things were going smoothly without Su Yun, she still felt a little unsure about it. Of course, Tang Jiu wouldn't say this out loud. That would only increase Su Yun's burden and pressure. Then it's a deal. After we're done with our own work, we'll go to Hawaii together, Su Yun said. I'm looking forward to it. You're treating, right? Hee, that's a deal. You're joking, Tang Jiu said. Help Sister Shuang and Cho Yen take care of Guogua. Guogua is much more sensible now than when I first met her. Most of the time, she doesn't give me the feeling that she's a mischievous little girl anymore. Girls need more care than boys. You know that. Su Yun nodded. He admitted that. When he was young, he had received much less care than training, so he was especially concerned about his lack of childhood happiness. There's also your body. I heard about it when I was chatting with Cho Yun today, Tang Jiu said. Although I don't know what kind of expert Lin Ge found to help you. Even if there's someone who can treat your injuries, you still need to pay more attention to your body and take care of yourself in the future. You have the capital to overdraft your body when you're young, but what will you do when you're old? Su Yun grinned. I think that if I'm old, there'll definitely be someone to take care of me. Haha, if there's really no one to take care of me, I'll rely on your Tang family. Won't you give me face? Don't talk nonsense. I'm serious. Tang Jiu glared at Su Yun. Don't make us worry anymore. I know. You're becoming more and more like an auntie now, Su Yun said. I promise I'll take care of my body. Is that okay? You've decided to leave today? How about we all have dinner together tonight? It won't be too late to leave tomorrow. Tang Jiu shook his head. I'm going to Nanling tomorrow to take a look. You guys also need to go to the movie plaza to make arrangements. I just said that you should go and share Sister Mayin's burden. Why can't you understand? You don't have to worry about anything at the movie plaza. She's the one who's busy. You should at least say something, right? Okay, I'll follow your instructions, Su Yun said. How do you plan to return to Jibei? The company will pick me up in about an hour, Tang Jiu said. I'll go and say goodbye to everyone. Okay, I'll send you to the car later. Su Yun nodded. Just as Tang Jiu was about to turn and leave, Su Yun called out to her. Oh right, Tang Jiu. Tang Jiu, there's something I want to say. Thank you. Thank you for everything you've done for me and Sky Entertainment. Sincerely. If you don't accept my gratitude, I'll feel really bad. Chapter 836. After sending Tang Jiu off, everyone felt that it was a pity. After all, they had been together for so long, and they all had feelings for each other. Even Zhou Meiyan couldn't lift her spirits. Tang Jiu's sacrifice was obvious to everyone. If she hadn't been focused on the construction of the Qingdao Film and Television Plaza, the progress wouldn't have been so fast. Because everyone was in a normal mood, dinner ended relatively quickly. Just as Su Yun put down his chopsticks, he received a call. It was from Boss Jean of Hongtai Coal Mine. If this guy was looking for Su Yun, it could only be for one thing. He had found the person Su Yun wanted him to find. Boss Jean, a few days apart feels like 3 years. Su Yun smiled slightly, got up and walked out. He wouldn't let Wan Qingshuang worry before he got the exact news. Jin Kuang also chuckled. That's right. Chairman Su, I feel that it's already past the 4th autumn. This is what we call heroes cherish heroes. In the future, I really have to find more opportunities to meet with Chairman Su. During this time, I've mainly focused on the thing you asked me to do. Seeing that Jin Kuang didn't beat around the bush and went straight to the point, Su Yun liked his attitude. Boss Jin is really kind. I like to deal with people like you. I don't know if it's good news or bad news. Chairman Su, although this isn't good news, it's definitely not bad news, Jin Kuang said. I'm an optimistic person. Boss Jin, tell me the good news first. Su Yun said faintly. To be able to get your number so quickly, I'm really surprised. Jin Kuang's smile deepened. He could tell that Su Yun had given him a lot of bonus points because of what he had done. This had established the possibility of them working together in the future. If Chairman Su has time now, why don't we meet up? I just arrived in Xinjiang. When I dialed your number, the car had just left the toll booth. Su-yin said awkwardly. I'm afraid I'm sorry, Boss Jean. I'm not in Xinjiang now. If I knew you were coming, I would have waited for you in Xinjiang. It's all right, it's all right. Look at what Chairman Su said. You're so busy and you have so many things to attend to every day. If I can meet you, it's my luck. Jean Kwang said. Then I can only tell you over the phone. The good news is that I found the Ruan Chow you asked me to find. It was indeed done at a private coal mine that is related to Hongtai. Su-yin heaved a sigh of relief. It seemed that Jean Kwang was quite reliable. What about the bad news? You're not going to tell me that something has happened to her, are you? That's not necessarily the case. If something happens to them and I tell President Lin that I have good news, wouldn't I be slapping my own face? To be honest, it is indeed a little difficult to bring it up. Jean Kwang said. Although I found news about Ruan Chow, the boss told me that he had left his mine for a long time. Su-yin frowned. Boss Jean, I think you must know the reason, right? Jean Kwang sighed and said. The boss of the private mine is a close friend of mine. Both of us like jade and antiques, so we have a lot of contact. I'll excuse him first. This matter really can't be blamed on him. Boss Jean, I'm not looking for anyone to take responsibility. I just want to find the person. Su-yin said seriously. Everything else doesn't matter. It's just a passing cloud. Chairman Su is really magnanimous. Jean Kwang said. Actually, this is what happened. At that time, something happened in the mine. At that time, 11 workers died. Because my friend offended someone, he was being watched by the reporters. He couldn't cover it up even if he wanted to. In the end, he spent a lot of money, but he still couldn't cover it up. He had no choice but to find someone to take responsibility for this matter. Su-yin was startled. Are you saying that Ruan Chow took responsibility for this matter? That's really the case. At that time, Ruan Chow and another person took 100,000 yuan each and took responsibility. Jean Kwang said. Once they took responsibility for this matter, they would definitely have to run away. Otherwise, they could only wait to be caught. My friend doesn't know what happened after that. But he never heard any news about them being caught. Su-yin. In other words, Ruan Chow hasn't appeared since then? Yes. Yes. Jean Kwang said. I also inquired about the person who escaped with him. That person is from Qingdao. His name is Hua Zhongxiang. At that time, he and Ruan Chow took responsibility for this matter together. But I don't know anything else. After all, these private mines don't care about identity. You know some things. Alright, Boss Jean. I've really troubled you with this matter. Su-yin. I've really made the right choice as your friend. Ha ha ha, Chairman Su, you must be joking. Don't take this small matter to heart. If you take it to heart, then I'll be embarrassed. Jean Kwang laughed a few times. Regardless of whether it was big or small, at least now Su-yin owed him a favor. He would have the capital to look for him in the future. Su-yin didn't waste any more words with Jean Kwang. Boss Jean, when I return to Xinjiang, I'll definitely treat you to a drink. No. When Chairman Su returns to Xinjiang, I'll give you a welcome dinner. Jean Kwang said straightforwardly. Anyway, he was preparing to find a place to look for a house in Xinjiang tomorrow. If he wanted to have long-term contact with Su-yin, he didn't mind living in Xinjiang at all. Anyway, he had his goddaughter to accompany him to eat, drink, and play. He wasn't someone who was attached to his family. As for the company's matters, he directly controlled it through the phone, and instructed others to do it. As the boss, there was only one thing left, and that was to take over the Taiwan mine. As long as this matter was done, then he could only enjoy the rest of the things after that. After hanging up the phone with Jean Kwang, Su-yin realized that Ruan Qingshuang was standing behind him. Her eyes were like limpid autumn water. She bit her trembling lips lightly. Did you not find any news? I can't say that there isn't any, Su-yin said lightly. At least I can be sure that Ruan Chow didn't have any accidents in the mine. He left the mine. I'm afraid we need to think about the rest of the matter at length. Right, I want to ask you something. At that time, did Ruan Chow send a lot of money home? Ruan Qingshuang shook her head. No. The most he sent was around 2,000 yuan. If that was the case, perhaps a young person wouldn't be able to resist the temptation of 100,000 yuan. After Ruan Chao received the money, he didn't send it home. It was very likely that he squandered it. If that was the case, it would be very difficult to stop. This matter really made Su Yin completely lose all clues. Seeing Su Yin frown, Ruan Qingshuang comforted him. It's okay. It's been so long. No matter what the situation is, I can accept it. You don't have to consider my feelings. Chapter 837. The next day, Shirley brought his security team of more than 160 people to the Qingdao Film and Television Plaza on time. Because the entire base occupied a large area, 160 people should be enough to form a complete security team. Just the main plaza and the 10 entrances to the main hall would require 20 people. With so many other film and television bases, 140 people would be easy to divide. The people from the garment factory that Zhuo Meiyan had contacted to measure their bodies had also arrived. Su Yinhui had decided to make the uniforms for the security guards because the quality of the uniforms sold by the labor protection store was really bad. It would be better to make it more professional and highlight the heroic nature of this group of retired soldiers. To create the most dazzling Secret Service security team, Ruan Qingshuang stayed here to deal with the security team. After all, Su Yin hoped that in the future, she could become a capable assistant like Ruan Qingshuang. Ruan Qingshuang's careful and cautious personality was enough to make up for Zhuo Meiyan's impulsive decisions. This way, Sky Entertainment's long-term development could be guaranteed. Chou Yun took Lin Suyin to pick out the weapons and equipment needed by the security team. Hua Xia carrying a gun was against the law, but some handy weapons like batons could be easily bought. With Lin Suyin's eyes and Chou Yun's expertise, the two naturally picked out good things. While measuring, Zhuo Meiyan and Ruan Qingshuang discussed a few things. They directly divided the security team into 16 groups, with 10 people in each group. Each group would be in charge of their own area. After all, the Film and Television Plaza was surrounded by film and television bases. As long as the ribbons were cut, the next day would be full of people. A lot of film and television work would be carried out here. When the time came, security guards would be needed everywhere. After all, many film and television bases were disturbed by crazy fans and crazy star chasers during the filming process. Although this wasn't a big deal, once an outsider broke in, it would more or less affect the state of the director and actors. Filming a movie was the same as doing other things. The details determined success or failure. If there wasn't an absolutely perfect environment, how could a high-quality product be produced? Brother Yun, yesterday this group of brothers told me that you gave them such a rare opportunity. They sincerely want to thank you. Shirley said. I told them that if they want to thank you, they just have to do their jobs well. Brother Lei's words make sense. Su Yin said. We're going to divide them into groups today. In the afternoon, we'll bring them to familiarize them with the areas they're in charge of. You'll officially start work tomorrow. Zhuo Meiyan has already drafted the contract. After all, the security team is yours. We'll still sign the contract with you, and we'll transfer the salary to you first, and then you'll pay it. Although I know you don't intend to let the security company become a profitable part, we finally decided to follow the formal steps. You are also the manager, so you should get a certain management fee. Shirley smiled helplessly and shook his head. Then I'm really embarrassed to take this money. I sent the security team to your side, and it was all because of you. How can I take the management fee? You're treating me like an outsider. Brother Lei, even brothers have to settle accounts clearly. If we want to cooperate for a long time, we have to do this. Su Yin said seriously. We'll talk about this later. I'll help you divide them into groups now. After all, I have some understanding of them. I know who's closer to whom. Shirley turned around and went to work. Just as the security team was being divided into groups, Su Yin suddenly heard a name pop out of Shirley's mouth. Hua Xiaoxiong, you go to the 5th team. You'll be in the same group as Qi Rui's group. After Shirley finished speaking, a young man in the crowd happily stood up and walked to the 5th team. At his age, he must have joined the army after high school. After completing his military service, he immediately came back. Obviously, he didn't have any family connections. Suyin was curious about his name, Hua Xiaoxiong, because yesterday Jin Kuang called him and told him that when Ruan Chao ran away, the person with him was called Hua Zhongxiong, from Qingdao. Hua Xiaoxiong. Suyin went forward and said, "Can I talk to you?" When Hua Xiaoxiong heard this, he was flattered. Although Suyin was only 25 or 26 years old, his aura and temperament definitely had the aura of a boss. Hua Xiaoxiong hurriedly walked in front of Suyin and smiled. "Director Su, if there's anything, just tell me." "It's nothing. I just saw that you're a good person and wanted to talk to you." Suyin smiled slightly. "How's the health of the elders in your family?" Hua Xiaoxiong was touched when he heard this. "They're okay. They're not bad." "Suyin, you're the only child in your family? Then you have to be filial to the elders in the future. Filial piety is a must." Hua Xiaoxiong said, "I have 2 brothers in my family. My parents are always proud of us 3 sons." "You have brothers? What do they do?" Suyin felt that it was more and more coincidental. "Are they also retired soldiers? Are they in our security team?" Hua Xiaoxiong shook his head. "My brother's name is Hua Daxiong. When he left school, I was still in primary school. He learned auto repair from an old master. It's just that his comprehension is average. Now he's working as a car repair and maintenance worker in a Volkswagen 4S shop in Qingdao. Although it's dirty work, the income is still okay. He occasionally helps the family so that the family doesn't have too many difficulties. My sister-in-law is also more reasonable. This job is not bad. There will be fewer skilled workers in the future. Young people don't like to do this kind of work. His salary will also increase." Suyin smiled slightly. "What about your second brother? What does he do?" Speaking of his second brother, Hua Xiaoxiong shook his head helplessly. "My second brother's name is Hua Zhongxiong. His life isn't good. He's almost 40 years old and hasn't found a wife. It's all." Hua Xiaoxiong was suddenly speechless. He didn't know how to continue. "Did your second brother work as a miner in Hongtai coal mine?" Suyin asked. Hua Xiaoxiong was dumbfounded. "Boss Su, how did you know?" Could it be? I know a lot more. Their mine isn't even Hongtai coal mine. It's just a small private coal mine. It's under Hongtai's name." Suyin. "Because there was an accident in the mine. The boss wanted to find a scapegoat. Therefore, he paid him to take the blame and let them escape. Am I right?" Hua Xiaoxiong looked at Suyin in shock. "Director Su, you're not here to investigate my second brother, are you? Since you know he's a scapegoat, you won't arrest him, right?" "I'm not investigating him, but I can't prove that he's right." Suyin. "After all, he took the coal boss's money and let that black-hearted boss get away with it." Chapter 838. 200,000 yuan. Suyin was stunned. Jin Kuang clearly told him that the coal boss gave Hua Zhongxiong and Ruan Chao 100,000 yuan each for them to run away. How did it become 200,000 yuan in Hua Zhongxiong's mouth? There was only one possibility, unless Hua Zhongxiong also took Ruan Chao's 100,000 yuan. That was the only explanation. "Boss Su, how did you know about this?" This happened a few years ago." Hua Xiaoxiong said. "No one is investigating anymore. We're preparing to let my second brother go out and find a job. Otherwise, with his current state, forget about continuing the family line, he can't even find a wife." After a pause, Hua Xiaoxiong saw Suyun's serious expression and couldn't help but regret saying these things. He said nervously, "Boss Su, you're not going to find trouble with my second brother, are you? He's already very pitiful. This matter really can't be blamed on him. He was also forced into a corner." Suyin didn't continue to hide anything. "I don't mean to find trouble with Hua Zhongxiong. I just want to find someone who ran away with him." Suyun's gaze was fixed on Hua Xiaoxiong's eyes. "Did he mention a person called Ruan Chao to you? The boy who ran away with him?" Hua Xiaoxiong shook his head with a blank expression. "No, he only said that he took the blame for the boss, and then ran back by himself. He didn't say that there was someone else involved." Then I'll tell you the truth. He wasn't the only one who took the blame for the coal boss. There was another boy called Ruan Chao. The coal boss didn't give your brother 200,000 yuan, but gave each of them 100,000 yuan. Su Yin. I'm guessing that the coal boss did this so that the two of them would run to different places and confuse the police investigating this matter. Hua Xiaoxiong couldn't help but swallow. He didn't know why he was inexplicably nervous. But after Ruan Chao ran away, he didn't bring the 100,000 yuan home. His family never heard from him again. Su Yin. And Hua Zhongxiong returned to Qingdao with the 200,000 yuan. This is what happened. I just want to find someone to explain to me why it ended up like this. Why is Ruan Chao's 100,000 yuan in Hua Zhongxiong's hands? And why is Ruan Chao missing? Ziu. That can't be. My second brother is definitely not that kind of person. He would never do such a terrible thing. Hua Xiaoxiong said. A chill ran down his spine. This matter sounded a little too unbelievable. Su Yin insisted. Before I figure out the truth, I won't suspect anyone. But I have to see Hua Zhongxiong. I want to hear what he has to say. Hua Xiaoxiong shook his head vigorously. Absolutely impossible. My second brother would never do something like that. Chairman Su, I guarantee that this is absolutely impossible. I guarantee it with the dignity of the Hua family. Really? Absolutely impossible. But I can't help but wonder why the 200,000 is in your second brother's hands. Su Yin. You also have to admit that your second brother's mental state has been like this all these years. His mental stress is something none of us can deny. If you want to help your second brother, then let me see him. Hua Xiaoxiong was stunned. He couldn't accept this news. He had to admit that he had doubts in his heart. Su Yin wasn't in a hurry. I'll give you time to think about it. After all, this isn't something anyone can accept. I'm also from the military. I understand that you won't really want to hide it. The others were still busy assigning the security team. Su Yin stood calmly beside Hua Xiaoxiong, waiting for him to think about it. After 10 minutes, Hua Xiaoxiong finally said, Okay, I promise you. If my second brother had really done something outrageous, I would definitely not be biased towards him. But I believe that he's definitely not that kind of person. Chairman Su, I swear. I also want to believe you, Su Yin. But I have to know the truth. And the only person who knows the truth is Hua Xiaoxiong. Hua Xiaoxiong nodded vigorously. At this moment, his heart was like a bottle of mixed feelings. Sour, sweet, bitter, spicy and salty. The feeling of all the feelings mixed together made him feel very uncomfortable. If you don't have any objections, then we'll go find him now, Su Yin said as he took out the car keys. Hua Xiaoxiong silently agreed. Brother Lei, Hua Xiaoxiong and I are going out to do something. I'll have to trouble you here. Su Yin turned to Shirley and said, Thank you for your hard work. Shirley nodded and looked at Hua Xiaoxiong. He smiled slightly. Brother Yin, you have good eyes. Xiaoxiong is a moldable talent. With your guidance, he'll definitely become a talent in the future. Ruan Qingshuang and Zhuo Meiyan looked at each other. They didn't understand the reason behind Su Yin's actions at this time. But they still nodded and told Su Yin to drive safely and come back for lunch after he was done. Looking at the back of Su Yin and Hua Xiaoxiong leaving, the security guards whispered, Xiaoxiong is so lucky. The leader of the 5th team will definitely be him. Leader? Haha, you're underestimating him. He's with Chairman Su. Maybe he'll be the leader of our security team in the future. This kid has a future. TSK. Yes, he'll probably be earning 100,000 yuan a year soon. It's really enviable. We also have to work hard and learn from him. In the midst of the discussion, Su Yin drove the black Qian out of the film and television square with Hua Xiaoxiong. Seeing Hua Xiaoxiong reach the sky in one step, everyone cheered up. They all hoped to be the second person to catch the eyes of these bosses. Even if the head captain would become Hua Xiaoxiong, they could also fight for the position of deputy captain. Maybe they could also get an annual salary of more than 80,000 yuan. For them, this was already a very good salary. The group measurement continued. Shirley also signaled everyone to stop talking nonsense. Using practical actions to do their best was the real way of the king. Su Yin drove all the way in the direction Hua Xiaoxiong pointed out. Then he got on the town highway and went all the way north. He was getting farther and farther away from the bustling city of Qingdao. He didn't get off the town highway until he reached the northernmost part of Qingdao. Although this place was also part of Qingdao, compared to the development of the coastal area, it didn't seem so urban. After getting off the highway and coming to the town, Su Yin came to a village called Green Tree Village according to the direction Hua Xiaoxiong pointed out. This village lived up to its name. Although it wasn't as bustling as the city, the green vegetation made people feel very comfortable. The air quality was also far better than the city by a few streets. Chapter 839. The environment here is really rare. It must be very comfortable to live in such a place. Su Yin said casually. It seems that your secretary is a good official who understands the principle of sustainable development. Although Hua Xiaoxiong was not in the mood, he was still very emotional when talking about his village. Yes, he is indeed a good secretary. For so many years, although some people have always complained that he does not know how to use our unique conditions to develop rural tourism projects, most people still support him. Although developing rural tourism projects can bring income to the villagers, destroying the current situation in the village is also an inevitable price to pay. I still support him. After all, I hope that the village can maintain its original appearance, green and always looks so comfortable. There are fewer and fewer places like this. If it can continue to be so beautiful, isn't it a good thing? Su Yin asked. Do you still have land at home? What do you usually plant? I have 4 mu of land. Usually, I plant some crops that are suitable for the season. Hua Xiaoxiong said. The wheat will be harvested soon. If the family is too busy in a few days, I am afraid I will have to take a day off. I will come back to help harvest the wheat. After all, my parents are old. Director Su, turn left at the intersection ahead. Su Yin turned the car and said with a smile. That is what I should do. I will allow you to take a day off. If you can't handle it in 1 day, then 2 days. If you need help, see if any of the brothers in the security team are free. I will ask them to help you harvest the wheat. Thank you for your kindness, Director Su. Actually there is not much work. I can do it myself. It is all combined harvesters now. There is no need to manually harvest the wheat. Hua Xiaoxiong said. Compared to before, the lives of the farmers are much better now. This is all thanks to the government, thanks to the party, and thanks to the wise decisions of our Huaxia leaders. It is because of this that our lives are getting better day by day. Compared to before, it is really thriving. Our Huaxia is a large agricultural country. It is certain that the country supports the development of agriculture. Su Yin nodded and said, the few mu of land at home now is definitely a treasure in the future. Many villagers have given up their land for money. Buildings have been built on good crops, and people do not have to worry about food. Being a construction worker makes more money than being a farmer. However, this is not a long-term solution. Hua Xiaoxiong nodded and said, Director Su, what you said makes sense. Indeed, there are fewer and fewer fertile lands. Su Yin was quite far-sighted. Now Huaxia's real estate industry has reached an extreme point. There are more and more ghost towns. Many of the newly built residential areas have less than 10% occupancy. Some are even less than 5%. Although Huaxia hasn't reached the point where everyone has a house to live in, there are more and more unused houses. One day, when the real estate bubble can't withstand the pressure and bursts, all those construction workers who abandoned their families' land won't be able to feed themselves, Hua Xiaoxiong said. I believe that the leader will definitely have a way to resolve this situation, Su Yin said. We don't have to worry about that. Where is the intersection ahead? Hua Xiaoxiong pointed at a stone mill in front of them and said, Turn right at the stone mill. The second house is ours. A luxurious car driving into a village far away from the hustle and bustle of the city would obviously attract the attention of many villagers. When they saw that it was Hua Xiaoxiong who came out of the car, they started discussing. Hua family's old third is still the most promising. People who were soldiers are indeed different. Look at how he is doing now. He even sits in such a good car. The village elder said, "This car looks even better than that old Zhang family's kid who made the black-hearted soy sauce." The younger and more knowledgeable ones immediately said, "This is called a Porsche. Zhang Daxing's Volkswagen can't compare to it. This car can buy 10 of his cars." Oh my goodness. Isn't Zhang Daxing's car called What's Afraid Of? Didn't they say it was more than 200,000? Is old Third's car that good? 2 million? Of course. Let me tell you, this car looks like the best. Look at the row. The more knowledgeable youngster had already started explaining to the people around him. Hua Xiaoxiong waved his hand. All right. This is our boss car. Don't make any gestures. If it gets scratched, no one can afford to pay for it. Go back to what you are supposed to do." When the onlookers heard this, they all moved away. No one wanted to cause trouble for themselves. An old man walked while saying, "Old Third is so promising. Hua family's old second can't compare. He's almost 40 years old, but he still stays at home and relies on his brothers to support him. It's really fate." Su Yin had already encountered similar onlookers in Wan Qingshuang's hometown village, so he wasn't surprised at all. After locking the car, he walked into Hua Xiaoxiong's house under the lead of Hua Xiaoxiong. The house at home was very old. It looked like it was built at least 20 years ago. Hua Xiaoxiong explained, "It was built when my elder brother got married. Now the two of them saved money in the city and took a loan to buy a 60 square meter attic. They're doing pretty well. And it's really not bad." Su Yin nodded. Nowadays, young people who could afford a house with their own ability were considered promising young people. Most of them still relied on their family. "My second brother is in the East House. He doesn't go out except for eating and drinking." Hua Xiaoxiong shook his head helplessly. Su Yin nodded. "Where are your parents? I'll go and greet them first. They're probably watering the field now. They won't be back for a while." Hua Xiaoxiong said, "Manager Su, I don't want the old people at home to worry. Since there's no one at home, you can ask them if you have any questions." Su Yin understood Hua Xiaoxiong's feelings, so he directly pushed the door and walked into the East House. Although Hua Xiaoxiong wasn't 40 years old, his face was dirty and his face was full of stubble. He looked like an old man in his 50s or 60s. Seeing that Old Third brought a stranger home, Hua Xiaoxiong sat up on the bed vigilantly and looked at Su Yin nervously. Perhaps it was because he hadn't been in contact with strangers for too long, so he was a little depressed. "Old Third, who is he? Why did you casually bring him home?" Hua Xiaoxiong's voice was obviously anxious. Hua Xiaoxiong shook his head helplessly. "Second brother, this is my boss. He has something to ask you. Although I know you don't want to accept it or talk about it, you have to face what you have to face. You can't live in hiding your whole life, right? What do you mean?" Hua Xiaoxiong was confused. Su Yin coughed lightly and said faintly, "I know what I'm going to say next will hurt you mentally, but I still want to ask you. What's the situation with Ruan Chao who escaped from the mine with you?" Ruan Chao. This name was like a sharp knife that pierced directly into Hua Zhongxiong's heart. He cried out in pain and kept muttering, "I don't understand what you're talking about. I don't understand. I don't know anything. I beg you to let me go. I don't know anything." Chapter 840. Seeing Hua Zhongxiong's reaction, Hua Xiaoxiong went forward and hugged him. "Second brother, you have to explain everything today. If you did something evil, then you have to take responsibility. Otherwise, you will continue like this until you drive yourself crazy. Don't force him. He needs some time now." Su Yin said lightly, "Hua Zhongxiong, since I can find you, it means that I know what happened before. I came to find you for no other reason than to know if Ruan Chao is alive or dead. I can accept any result. What should have happened has happened. Just like what your brother said, you can't put all the pressure on yourself." Hua Zhongxiong's body kept trembling. He was really driven crazy by the mental torture over the years. He wanted to forget everything. He thought he could forget everything, but he really couldn't. For so many years, as long as he went out, the scene of Ruan Chao's last struggle would appear in front of him. He really couldn't bear it. Wu. A man in his 40s suddenly burst into tears. Grief eroded his entire being. I'm sorry for brother Yuan Chao. I'm sorry for him. If you want to catch me, then catch me. It's all my fault. It's all my fault. If it wasn't for me, he wouldn't be in trouble. I deserve to die. Although Hua Xiaoxiong was mentally prepared, when he heard his second brother admit that this matter was related to him, his heart still thumped. It was as if he had fallen into an abyss of eternal damnation. You'll feel better if you say it. Su Yin continued. No one will catch you. No one will investigate anything. I just need the truth. What happened to Yuan Chao? I can see that you're definitely not a despicable person. You're a kind person. Otherwise, you wouldn't have suffered so much mental torture. Say it. Tell me everything you know. Hua Xiaoxiong looked at Su Yin in confusion. He always thought that his second brother admitted that he had harmed someone. Was it not like this? Hua Zhongxiong cried in pain for a while. Suddenly, he raised his head and looked at Su Yin. It's me. It's all my fault. He began to sink into the memories of that time. His lips trembled as he told this stranger everything. As long as he did not tell this secret that had suppressed his heart, he would not be able to find peace in his heart. Back then, Hua Zhongxiong had no choice but to agree to take the blame for his boss when he found out about his father's kidney failure. At that time, Yuan Chao was involved in this matter with him. The two of them each took 100,000 yuan and escaped. After that, Hua Zhongxiong called home and asked how much the treatment cost. When he heard the sky-high price of 200,000 yuan, he fell into despair. But at that time, Yuan Chao took out his 100,000 yuan and said that he would lend it to Hua Zhongxiong first. When Hua Zhongxiong had money, he could return it to him. He had risked his life to get this money. Of course, Hua Zhongxiong was embarrassed to ask for it. Therefore, he tried to think of a way. In the end, he made up his mind and said that he would go to the casino to try his luck. He would stop as long as he won 200,000 yuan. He only hoped to have the money to save his father, that was all. Yuan Chao said that it was not reliable, but Hua Zhongxiong insisted. Yuan Chao was worried and went with him to the underground casino. It was unknown if Hua Zhongxiong's luck was good or if the casino was deliberately going easy on him, but he won 90,000 yuan in one go. As long as he won another 10,000 yuan, he would be able to gather 200,000 yuan to treat his father's illness. But unfortunately, Hua Zhongxiong began to lose. He lost every time. Seeing that the money he won was decreasing, Hua Zhongxiong became more and more anxious. He regretted not leaving after winning 90,000 yuan. He wanted to win it back, but the more he did so, the more he lost. In the end, he lost all the 90,000 yuan he won. He began to lose his capital. 100,000 yuan was really not enough to lose. Soon, in just an hour, Hua Zhongxiong became a pauper who lost his family's fortune. At that moment, he really had the urge to strangle himself to death. He really committed suicide. He did not want to live anymore after losing all the money to save his life. Of course, Yuan Chao could not watch Hua Zhongxiong die. He lent his 100,000 yuan to Hua Zhongxiong. Hua Zhongxiong swore to use this 100,000 yuan to win back all the money. But in the end, things did not go according to plan. He lost all of Yuan Chao's 100,000 yuan. This time, they were truly in a desperate situation. People in desperate straits could do anything. They already had nothing, so they did not care. The two of them came up with a plan and decided to wait until there were fewer people in the casino to snatch back their 200,000 yuan. For this, Hua Zhongxiong even used the last 10 yuan in his pocket to buy a fruit knife. The two of them took action that day. After all the guests in the casino left, the two of them went in to carry out the robbery. Everything went smoothly in the beginning. When the people in the casino saw someone robbing with a knife, they obediently gave them 200,000 yuan in cash. But after all, those who opened casinos were not people to be trifled with. Everything was not as simple as they thought. They took the money and did not even run 500 meters before they were surrounded by a group of people with machetes. The two of them were no match for them. At that time, Hua Zhongxiong was afraid and worried about losing the 200,000 yuan. In the end, when Yuan Chao was injured and stopped, he did not choose to stay. He was afraid of death, so he fled with the money. He only remembered Yuan Chao's helpless gaze. Every time he thought of it, He would lose sleep. Every time he saw people fighting outside, he would think of that scene. That scene had been tormenting him. After so long, he still couldn't forgive himself for his actions. Perhaps if he had left the money, the other party would have spared his and Ruan Chao's lives. But he did not do so. He made the decision to escape alone. He hated himself for being shameless and dirty. Did you see Ruan Chao being hacked to death by them with your own eyes? Su Yin asked. Hua Zhongxiong shook his head. No, but I'm sure they did it. Because they all had knives, such long machetes. They chopped Ruan Chao's head fiercely. A normal person wouldn't be able to survive. It's impossible. They killed someone, but I didn't dare to say anything. For myself, for this money, I gave up another life. After hearing his second brother's story, Hua Xiaoxiong was also heartbroken. No one could bear this kind of mental self-blame. He finally understood why his second brother had been hiding at home for so many years. If it were him, he wouldn't know what to do either. No, you did it to save your father's life. Su Yin said calmly. Hua Zhongxiong, although what you did was not manly at all, you had your reasons. It would be very difficult for anyone to make such a decision. I understand you. You don't have to blame yourself anymore. You understand me? Hua Zhongxiong had been hoping to hear someone say that to him all these years. His eyes shimmered. Is what you said true? From the day I can remember, I only know that it was my godfather who raised me. Su Yin finished and waved his hand. Let's not talk about this anymore. It affects the mood. I'm sorry. Hua Xiaoxiong said embarrassedly. I didn't know this, so I said it. Boss Su, please don't take it to heart. Su Yin said generously. Of course, I know you didn't mean it. Don't take it to heart. I just don't want to care about the past. People live their lives and look forward. The things in the past are not important. The important thing is to live in the present and look forward to the future. Anyone and anything is the same. Hua Xiaoxiong sighed. Su Yun's words made him realize the true meaning of life. I think you're quite capable. Go back and be the security leader of Team 5 for a month. During the probation period, if you perform well, you'll be officially hired. Su Yun, you can recommend to me who is more suitable to be a manager in the other 15 teams. I believe in your judgment. Hua Xiaoxiong was flattered. Of course, he wouldn't talk about things based on his relationship with him. When it came to ability, he quickly listed 15 people. Because Su Yin didn't know them very well, he could only use this method to determine a group of security team leaders during the probation period. If they were qualified, then they would officially take office next month. If they weren't qualified, then he would find someone else with the ability to do it. After Su Yin returned to the film and television square, the things that needed to be done were basically done. The people in the clothing department said that they would work overtime and send all the 160 sets of clothes they needed tomorrow. Chou Yen and Lin Suyin had also purchased all the other equipment, such as gloves, watches, and the super black sunglasses that were similar to the ones worn by the men in black. This outfit coupled with the special service uniform that would be delivered tomorrow would definitely make them look cool. It really made the mini brothers of the security team feel happy in their hearts. After the equipment was distributed, everyone dispersed and went to eat. After lunch, Zhuo Meiyan took Shirley to sign the contract. Although there were some things that Su Yin didn't want to say and wanted to hide, he was very clear that he couldn't hide it forever. There were some things that Ruan Qingshuang would know sooner or later. It could even be said that if she knew a little earlier, she could be freed a little earlier. It might not be a bad thing. After Su Yin came to Ruan Qingshuang's room, he sent Guoguo out to play with Chou Yun and Lin Suyin. At this time, Ruan Qingshuang realized that Su Yin must have something to say to her. Sister Shuang, I think that there are some things that you still need to be mentally prepared for in advance. Su Yin, I think that I can basically confirm Ruan Chao's situation. Ruan Qingshuang calmly nodded. I can accept anything now. Or rather, I've long been prepared to accept the situation. Ruan Chao he already. Basically confirmed. Su Yin, Someone saw him being chopped down with their own eyes. I'm afraid that things are not looking good for him. Wan Qingshuang's reaction was calmer than Su Yin expected. After the ribbon cutting at the film and television square, I'll go to that place to investigate. Su Yin. I already have the detailed address. When the time comes, just prepare a photo of Ruan Chao for me. I'll find out everything and give you a complete answer. Wan Qingshuang said firmly. After the ribbon cutting is over, I want to go with you. I have the right to know the final situation of this matter as soon as possible. Actually, I don't want you to. I insist. Wan Qingshuang said seriously, looking firmly into Su Yin's eyes. In the end, Su Yin could only nod. Okay, I'll go with you when the time comes. I believe that you can control your emotions. But before that, you have to adjust your mental state well. Don't think too much about the past. I will. I'm not that weak. Wan Qingshuang said. I've learned how to face things from you. Living in the present is the most important thing for me to do. Chapter 842. The ribbon-cutting date for the film and television plaza didn't change, and went ahead as scheduled. There were too many things that Zhu Meiyan needed to make a decision on, so she released Zhu Yeming from house arrest, and allowed him to come to Qingdao with the director of Sky Entertainment's event planning department, and some other employees. Wan Qingshuang was very good at integrating. She used the fastest speed to understand what Zhu Meiyan wanted her to do. Even Su Yin couldn't understand the complicated business of the entertainment industry so quickly. Perhaps Wan Qingshuang was born to be a leader, but she never had the opportunity to show her talent and ability. It was Su Yin who brought out her potential. It could be said that Guoguo was quite excited during this period of time. All kinds of stars, handsome men, and beautiful women appeared in Qingdao one after another, and she, the little princess of the Sky Entertainment Group, obviously became the breakthrough point for many stars to get closer to Su Yin. Of course, Guoguo also had stars that she liked and stars that she didn't like. Those that she didn't like were a little depressed. For example, Mr. Wang wanted to use this opportunity to create some gossip and make it to the headlines. However, Guoguo said she wanted to vomit when she saw him, so Mr. Wang had no choice but to leave. After all, he was just a singer. He wasn't big enough to be invited. After Zhu Meiyan exposed Su Yin's identity in front of all the stars and employees of Sky Entertainment, she instantly felt relaxed. She didn't have to worry about anything anymore. Feng Ying was very happy to see this. Zhu Meiyan could finally relax. It was Zhang Taisui's last wish to hand over Sky Entertainment to Su Yin, and Zhu Meiyan had done it. Sister Feng Ying, if any of Sky Entertainment stars come to see me in the future, can I not meet them? Su Yin. To be honest, I haven't done anything in the past 2 days. I've been busy meeting and shaking hands with them. Of course, there are many movie stars that I like, but there are also many small fries who want to fish in troubled waters who want to meet me. For example, that Milky Something Liang who relied on his wife to get to where he is today. On a parent-child program, he even mocked Phoenix Legend's song for being tasteless. He thinks that listening to You from the Stars makes him look all high and mighty. That Korean TV series is indeed not bad, and I've also watched it, but there's no need to trample on Phoenix Legend. Feng Ying smiled helplessly. That's not our company's people. If you don't like it, I'll try not to let such people appear. Yes, and it's best not to let those scumbags appear. Those scumbags who copy gossip will also be banned. Su Yin said, the Qingdao Film and Television Plaza Film and Television Base is aiming for the name of Hollywood in the East. We can't let it become a tool for those despicable guys to hype themselves up. Feng Ying shook her head. You're just too serious. Who do you think will pay attention to the entertainment industry if they don't hype it up? Who could tell the difference between truth and falsehood? Who wouldn't want to attract the attention of the public before their new film was released? Otherwise, where would the box office come from? If you have this mentality, you'll lose money in the entertainment industry. Su Yin scratched his head. If we really need to create hype and publicity in the future, that's a matter for the future. But there's no need to hype up the ribbon cutting at the Film and Television Plaza, so we can't let any gossip ruin the atmosphere. I'll make sure all the artists under Sky Entertainment pay attention. I've already warned those newcomers who want to take advantage of the situation to use their brains before they do anything. If they want to get news, they have to use smart methods and not those vulgar methods. Feng Ying said, as for the kind of people you're talking about, if they're not from our company, I'll get someone to stop them. Su Yin nodded. That's the way. Even if you didn't mention it, I would have taken note of it. Feng Ying said, those who have not signed a contract with us, we have no obligation to give them the opportunity to show their faces. Also, Sky Entertainment doesn't sign these kinds of people. Su Yin. I like artists who are capable. Of course, let's not invite the nation's son-in-law Bobo this time. Who told this bro to not be able to hold back after seeing the advertisement for Miss Bao on the telephone pole? Feng Ying was completely speechless. Zhuo Meiyan has already prepared the list of people who will be walking the red carpet this time. Tomorrow, she'll arrange for people to pick up a few Hollywood actors and actresses from the airport. She'll also arrange for people to pick up the A-list actors and actresses from Hong Kong and Taiwan. The rest of the people who will be participating in the event are basically people under Sky Entertainment. There are artists from other companies, but they're all related companies that we've worked with for a long time. As for those companies who don't want to see Sky Entertainment do well, of course we'll take this opportunity to show them who's the real boss of Huaxia's entertainment industry. Su Yin was very satisfied with this kind of decision. He wanted to show off to some people who overestimated their own capabilities. Otherwise, these people would never know what their surnames were. Oh right, there will be a few people coming in a bit. You have to meet them, Feng Ying said. Sky Entertainment's top stars, you can't not give them face. Su Yin was stunned. You're saying that Sister Zhiling is coming too? Yeah, there are a few other people besides her. Feng Ying smiled. They're all pillars of Sky Entertainment. If we don't even agree to meet the new boss, then we can't justify it. Su Yin grinned. Now that you put it that way, I understand. I haven't seen Sister Zhiling in a long time, and I really want to catch up. Aren't you afraid that Meiyan will be jealous? Feng Ying said. She's been so busy recently that she hasn't even had a good rest. At this time, women have very bad tempers. You also know that Ling Zhiling's motives towards you weren't pure. At the time, Meiyan already had some prejudices against her. This is something that can't be denied. Be more careful, young man. Su Yun's forehead was covered in cold sweat, but Feng Ying's warning was right. Even if Zhuo Meiyan's attitude was much better than before, and Ling Zhiling's motives were no longer as impure as before. However, some things may seem calm on the surface, but who knows what other people are thinking? Feng Ying patted Su Yun's shoulder. When Zhuo Meiyan really puts you on the stage, you'll face even more challenges. Actually, Zhuo Meiyan's decision to let you take over Sky Entertainment took a lot of courage. Whether or not you can resist the temptation of the world of entertainment is up to you. Su Yin didn't understand. What do you mean? Sky Entertainment has so many artists, and there are many who want to be the top stars. There are also many who want to scheme, Feng Ying said. Do you think it's easy to be the boss? There are many things that you have to face on your own. When everyone knows that you're the most powerful person in Sky Entertainment, they'll definitely scheme against you. This is something that can't be avoided. Only then did Su Yin come to a realization. Big Sis Feng Ying, you mean there will be many people like Big Sis Zhiling back then, with impure motives towards me? Chapter 843. Just as busy as Su Yin was Ruan Qingxuang. She was suddenly promoted to vice president of Sky Entertainment. Her status was on the same level as Zhuo Meiyan's. Compared to Zhuo Meiyan was more of a novelty. After all, she was a vice president who popped out of nowhere. It was easy to imagine her background. No one would be stupid enough to not try to get to know her better. I suddenly realized that managing a hotel is easier. There aren't as many people and things that you need to communicate with. Ruan Qingxuang finally had a chance to take a breather. She walked over to Su Yin and said, You must understand Zhuo Meiyan's hard work now, right? This isn't something an ordinary woman can do. Su Yin nodded. I've always admired her. I've always been grateful to her. If it wasn't for her, Sky Entertainment wouldn't have become Huaxia's entertainment giant. If I was in charge, Sky Entertainment would have already gone bankrupt. We wouldn't have been able to hold so many superstars' contracts, let alone have the ability to do so. I'm afraid Sky Entertainment is the only company that can turn a newcomer into a superstar in a year. That's why Zhou Meiyan is so amazing. Wan Qingshuang also admired her. I have a lot to learn from her. Her courage and boldness are definitely Sky Entertainment's greatest strengths. However, she also has her weaknesses. Su Yin, your caution and thoughtfulness will make up for her shortcomings. I believe Sky Entertainment will be even more invulnerable in the future. In the past, when we said we wanted to create an Oriental Hollywood, our peers all said we were dreaming. But now, our dreams are about to come true. Wan Qingshuang smiled. I really hope you can always be this relaxed and happy. Fate makes fools of people. From the day I met you, you were slowly dragged into bigger and bigger troubles. There were many times when I wondered if all of this was because of me. Phew, now that all the troubles are gone, I can finally breathe a sigh of relief. Su Yun's mood was indeed very relaxed. Don't put the blame on yourself. Everything happened because of your kindness. Because you brought Guogua home from the streets. If it wasn't for that, we wouldn't be where we are now. Then I really have to thank her. Wan Qingshuang smiled brightly. Su Yun liked to see her smile. It made him feel very comfortable, like he was bathing in the morning sun. It made him feel comfortable. Su Yun pointed to Guogua, who was mixed in with a group of movie and TV stars. It seems that Guogua likes this circle very much. But I still don't want her to come into contact with this circle too early. There are too many bad influences. She will be led astray. Wan Qingshuang said. Although many people in the entertainment circle like to use bad means to attract attention, we can't change others, but we can change ourselves. We can let those who play tricks know that those are just temporary methods. They won't be able to make a big impact. Su Yin nodded. Indeed, those methods couldn't make a big impact. Since a group of women began to hype themselves on the No Sincerity show, a group of people followed the trend. Later, some people used their godfather and the Red Cross to hype themselves up. They even found a few friends who failed plastic surgery to film some bad movies about prostitutes to try to enter the entertainment circle. The result proved that those who were not capable were not capable. Those who were really capable, even if they didn't have so many gossips and started as temporary actors, could make a name for themselves by being down to earth. Didn't Baoqiang and the others make a name for themselves in this way? Although the image of a loser was a foregone conclusion, it was still much better than those who became playful after becoming famous and eventually became scumbags. This can't be solved overnight, Su Yun said. In the entertainment circle, who can tell whether it's true or not? It's just to entertain the public. I agree. Zhou Meiyan also came over with a cup of coffee. Seeing that there were more and more people in the movie and TV square, she felt quite accomplished. At noon tomorrow, the ribbon-cutting ceremony would begin. The leaders would give a speech, the stars would walk the red carpet, and a charity reception would be held in the evening. Then it would be a perfect end. The reason why so many people had gathered here today was to meet these bosses first. Have those Hollywood superstars been arranged? Su Yun asked. The international influence of the Qingdao movie and TV square depends on them. They can get so much money just by standing here. It's too easy to make money. Zhou Meiyan said helplessly. If we don't invite them, the international attention won't be so high. Our Huaxia A-list stars' international influence is still a little weak. There's no way they can be compared with Johnny, Smith and Nicholas, who are super box office stars in Hollywood. As for the female stars, I also invited Witherspoon, Kidman, and the others. Their influence is far greater than our female movie queens. They can't be compared with them just by winning a few awards at Cannes. Su Yun also admitted this point. International influence and domestic influence were two different concepts. There was a huge gap between the strength of the domestic super-A-list stars and the real international superstars. Just looking at the box office could prove this point. This was the reason why many domestic A-list stars were willing to be a part of a Hollywood blockbuster in order to increase their influence. If Sky Entertainment could really create the Hollywood of Huaxia and have an unparalleled international influence, then no one would want to go to Los Angeles to be a part of an international blockbuster. Although the movie and TV square is finished, if we really want to become the Hollywood of the East, we need to put in a lot more effort. Su Yun said. Fortunately, you guys are here. Otherwise, I really don't know what to do. You should be more careful in the future, Zhou Meiyan said. You're not the same as you were in the past. You don't need to get involved in fights anymore. If there are any trivial matters, just leave them to Zui Yeming and Pigeon. You just need to be a proper entertainment magnate. Not far away, the atmosphere suddenly changed. Su Yun and the others couldn't help but turn their heads to look. No wonder, it turned out that all of Sky Entertainment's top actresses had appeared at the same time. Their auras were definitely big enough. The junior brothers and sisters of the newcomers all looked as if they had just received a big red flower. They were all smiling brightly at them. Are you stunned? Zhou Meiyan glared at him. It's not easy being an entertainment magnate. There are many temptations. Can you resist them? It all depends on your willpower. Su Yun was stunned. Wan Qingshuang was also stunned. She quickly understood what Zhou Meiyan meant. Indeed, sitting in this position, there would be an endless stream of women throwing themselves at him. This was an unavoidable situation. I knew this job wouldn't be easy. Su Yun shrugged. There's nothing I can do about it. Who told me to be born with the temperament of not being attracted to women? Don't worry, even if you put fat in my mouth, I won't chew it. Chapter 844. Su Yun could only smile bitterly. After all, what Zhou Meiyan said wasn't unreasonable. Not many people could resist temptation. It required more than strong willpower. At least Su Yun felt that his willpower was strong enough, but he still couldn't guarantee that he could control his actions every time. Because in addition to willpower, he also needed a reason to control himself. As soon as Ling Jiling entered the main venue of the film and television plaza, she immediately noticed Su Yun. Her elegant and luxurious dress was enough to stun the entire venue. Even though the other three women standing with her were all top stars of Sky Entertainment, they still couldn't hide her outstanding charm. In fact, before Ling Jiling arrived at Qingdao, she had already heard the news that the most important thing to be announced at the ribbon-cutting ceremony was that the head of Sky Entertainment had changed. The previous number one person, Zhou Meiyan, had already announced that she would be Su Yun's assistant. In other words, Su Yun, the young master of Sky Entertainment, had finally officially ascended to the throne. From now on, he would be the head of Sky Entertainment, the new giant of Huaxia's entertainment industry. Ling Jiling already knew this would come true, but she still felt a little shocked and excited when she saw it with her own eyes. Looks like I've already discovered our new boss. Standing on Ling Jiling's left was one of the four top stars of Sky Entertainment, Li Cixi. She wore a white dress, white high heels, and a white watch with a white band. The number of people who turned to look at her was no less than her colleagues, competitors, and friends. Compared to the other three, Su Zi, who was dressed more casually, smiled and said, "Then let's have Sister Jiling introduce us. Sister Jiling, I've heard about your relationship with our new president. Before he took over, he went to the company. I heard he even went with you to Suhang to shoot an underwear commercial." Ling Jiling smiled but didn't say anything. People these days really talked fast. Even the slightest movement in the wind couldn't be hidden. Sister Jiling, you're the first to see the moon. I'm sure after shooting the commercial, you've already formed a deep friendship with our president, right? Did Mr. Su say that you have a great figure? Fan Bingbing smiled. The debate between her and Ling Jiling over who was the number one sister in Sky Entertainment had never subsided. Whether it was in terms of influence or the number of votes cast by the public, they were evenly matched. Of course, if there were people who liked it, there would be people who scolded it as well. Negative news about both of them would often be stirred up by the media. This was the manifestation of influence. As long as it could attract the attention of the masses, it was a good thing for the media. In terms of strength, the two of them were equally matched. In terms of scheming, neither of them were inferior to the other. In terms of status and relationships within Sky Entertainment, the two of them were equally matched. In public, they were naturally good friends. In private, if someone invited them to a party, they would usually give face. For example, the two of them being in Sky Entertainment was like a TV station having two equally popular programs. Both of the hosts were gold-plated signboards. If one of them was called the number one host, it would be unfair to the other. This was the feeling between Ling Jiling and Fan Bingbing. In Sky Entertainment, there were many who said that either of them was the number one sister. Bingbing, you're making fun of me again. Ling Jiling said. I've only met Mr. Su once. Our work relationship isn't that great. Fan Bingbing looked a little disappointed. No way. Sister Jiling didn't seize such a good opportunity to get closer to the boss? This isn't Sister Jiling's style. Sister Jiling is smooth and slick. Everyone in Sky Entertainment knows that. They won't talk about their friendship in private. Suzy pursed her lips and smiled. All right, Sister Jiling, don't be so stingy. Hurry up and introduce us to each other. Ling Jiling smiled helplessly. Do you still need to introduce yourselves? You've been in so many movies, and you've both won Best Actress awards. Who wouldn't know you? Li Cixi stuck out her tongue. Sister Jiling, why do I feel like you're a little shy? Don't tell me there's something going on between you and Mr. Su? This is big news. It's really explosive. Don't talk nonsense. This isn't the place to talk nonsense. Ling Jiling said. Be careful of being heard by Ms. Zhua. Don't tell me you really think you've reached the point where the company can't afford to shut you out? Li Cixi shook her head. Of course not. Even Sister Jiling hasn't reached that point. How could I? Plus, Sky Entertainment is about to become the most influential entertainment giant in Huaxia. If we cause trouble now, we'll be asking for trouble. Mr. Su has been watching us for a long time. If we don't take the initiative to say hello, it'll be rude. Fan Bingbing said. Let's go say hello. When Zhou Meiyan saw them walking over, she smiled and walked up to greet them. You for sure are early. You've all been working very hard recently. You must have a good rest today. Tomorrow is the day to show Sky Entertainment's strength and charm. Of course. When have we ever disappointed Ms. Zhua? Fan Bingbing smiled generously. Ms. Zhua, you've become prettier recently. You're the only one with a sweet mouth, Zhou Meiyan said. You've accepted a job in Hollywood. Tonight, accompany me to meet a few guests from afar. I'll contact you later. And no problem. Fan Bingbing nodded. Li Cixi pouted and said coquettishly, Ms. Zhua, you're too biased. You're only bringing Sister Bingbing to meet the big names in Hollywood. I heard that we invited a few superstars. As their loyal fan, are you really not going to give me the chance to go? There will be plenty of opportunities tomorrow. I'll just have Bingbing accompany me to send them to the hotel. Zhou Meiyan said. You can look around here. Later, go find Feng Ying. She'll arrange the hotel for you. Oh right, after this is over, Director Zhang has a new movie he might want to talk to you about. Li Cixi nodded vigorously. And I won't introduce them too much. Zhou Meiyan pointed at Su Yun and Ruan Qingshuang. This is Su Yun, the person you've always wanted to meet. He's Sky Entertainment's Mr. Su. And this is Ruan Qingshuang, Ms. Ruan. In the future, she'll be assisting Mr. Su with me. I won't introduce you guys. I'll go ask about the situation at the airport first. Make yourselves at home. After Zhou Meiyan left, they all politely greeted Su Yun and Ruan Qingshuang. Ruan Qingshuang was a bit unaccustomed to seeing these media figures being so polite to her. We'll all be friends in the future. If there's anything I don't understand, I'll ask you. There's no need to be so polite. Ms. Ruan is the kindest boss we've ever met. Su Ziyi said. If there's anything you need me for in the future, just let me know. Chapter 845. Sister Jiling, long time no see. How have you been? Is your work and life going well? Su Yun spoke first. I heard that you are working with a Hong Kong and Taiwan director on a police film. It must be tough. Take care of yourself. Don't tire yourself out. Women need to know how to take care of themselves. Ling Jiling was very happy when she heard Su Yun's concern. It's okay. The director team takes care of me. My work team is also very serious in helping me deal with the trivial matters. I'm quite relaxed. Other than feeling a little powerless when shooting the action scenes, everything else is okay. Sister Jiling, you are the queen of literary films. You suddenly changed to shooting fierce battle scenes. It really surprised us. Fan Bingbing said, don't shoot such tough scenes in the future. Otherwise, CEO Su will be worried. I really envy Sister Jiling. You can get the care and concern of the boss. It's hard for people like us who have no one to comfort. Su Yin smiled. Don't say that. Sister Bingbing is the goddess of all changes in my heart. You have challenged a lot of roles over the years. Your acting skills are getting better and better. From ancient costumes to modern times, and even to futuristic technology films, you have been involved. It must be tough. I will ask someone to buy some sea cucumbers from Hankufu to nourish your body. Director Su, don't forget about us. Su Zi said. Sishi and I also have a hard time. At least, Sister Jiling and Sister Bingbing mostly shoot literary and romantic dramas. I have only shot one literary film since my debut. After that, I have basically shot ancient costume fighting scenes. Sishi has shot from ancient costume fighting scenes to war films, and then to modern police and bandit films. All of them have fighting scenes. Should we also nourish ourselves? Of course, of course. We must all have some Hankufu sea cucumbers to nourish ourselves. I will ask someone to arrange it later and send it to you one by one. Su Yin could only agree with a smile. To be honest, it was not easy to be in the entertainment industry. To be able to be in the entertainment industry, one must have their own strength and work hard. It was impossible to become famous just by relying on some gossip. Li Sishi was very touched. Director Su is really considerate. If this matter is spread out, it will make our peers jealous. No boss would care so much about their artists. Just as she finished speaking, Zuamayan walked back after making the call. See, sure, I hope you're not mocking me. I've never bought any sea cucumbers for you to nourish your bodies. Hee hee, President Swa. I'm just joking with President Su. Li Sishi said. If it weren't for President Swa, we wouldn't be where we are today. Don't be jealous of President Su. The person I love the most is still President Swa. That's what you said. Zuamayan smiled and said to Fan Bingbing, let's go. The VIP's plane will land in half an hour. Come with me to greet them. They will all return to the hotel later. It won't be too late for you to catch up then. Fan Bingbing nodded and said to her sisters, I'm going to get busy. You guys take good care of Boss Su. Don't worry. Su Zi promised. I won't let you down. After watching Zuamayan and Fan Bingbing leave, Ling Jiling said to Su Yun, you must have worked hard during this time. Sky Entertainment's film and television plaza is finally complete. Zhang Taisui's spirit in heaven must be very happy. Our film and television base is so complete. Have you prepared the theme for the first film to be shot here? I read a novel online a while ago. It's about mixing in an office filled with beautiful women. I think the theme is good. It can be made into a movie. Su Yin said. It just so happens that our Sky Entertainment has so many beautiful women like you. Whether or not the film base's first movie will be successful will depend on your performance. Li Sishi was stunned. President Su, you're saying that you want us to be on the same stage? That's right. There will be a lot of opportunities for you to work together in the future. Su Yin. Sky Entertainment has its own film and television empire. Of course we have to use our own directors and actors to make our own films. Huaxia's film market is getting bigger and bigger. This is our chance to rise. With you guys acting in our films, the box office will be guaranteed. Su Zi stuck out her tongue playfully. Boss Su, that's not an easy thing to do. You have to know, we haven't acted in a role other than the female lead in many years. Su Yun had thought about this before. If Sky Entertainment decided to spend a lot of money to make a movie with all the stars, it wouldn't be easy to decide on the roles. After all, it wasn't like making a movie about building a nation. It was all about showing off. I haven't really thought about this. Su Yun chuckled. However, I believe that the director will make the right choice between the two of you based on the suitability of the role in the script. I've never doubted the director's vision. But your recommendation will obviously affect the director's decision to a large extent. Ling Jiling said. That's for sure. Whoever invests has the right to make the decision. Sometimes, the director doesn't have to choose the actors themselves. Their role is more about how to help the actors reflect the role and shape the characters. Then I'll have to read the script carefully. Su Yun grinned. I didn't think I'd make such a big leap. There are too many things in the entertainment industry that I don't understand. You guys have to help me in the future. Of course. As they chatted, Guogua suddenly ran over with a delicate little notebook in her hand. She looked at Su Yun proudly. Daddy, do you see? It's full of signatures. After speaking, Guogua looked at the others and said in surprise, Wow! I want to take a picture with the big sisters. Su Zi and Li Cixi were shocked. President Su's child was already so big. What kind of joke was this? Sister Jiling quickly signed for me. Guogua said. My friends will be jealous of me in the future. Hehe, tonight I'll post our picture on Weibo. My fans will definitely skyrocket. You're already the famous cherry blossom princess on the internet. Do you still need us to help you gain fans? Ling Jiling smiled and picked up Guogua. I'm afraid we need you to help us gain fans. Quick, Su Yun, help me take a picture with Guogua. Remember to send it to me. No problem. Su Yun took out his phone and prepared to take a picture. Su Zi suddenly realized that Ling Jiling and Su Yun's relationship wasn't normal. She had just called him by his name in such a casual manner. Phew, it seemed that even though Sky Entertainment had a new boss, she still had a long way to go if she wanted to surpass Ling Jiling. Come look at the camera. With a click, Guogua and Ling Jiling smiled like flowers. Of course, Guogua wouldn't let go of the opportunity to take a picture with Su Zi and Li Cixi. The two of them were very cooperative with this little princess of Sky Entertainment, but they were also very confused. This was because they had never heard anyone say that Su Yun was married with a child. The sudden appearance of this little devil was far beyond their imagination. After Su Yun finished taking pictures for Guogua, Feng came over to invite him to meet with a few famous directors and producers. He said goodbye to Ling Jiling and the others and went to greet Feng. Since he had decided to carry Sky Entertainment, he had to do what he had to do. Chapter 846. Sister Jiling, how come I've never heard you mention that Mr. Su has a child? Li Cixi exclaimed. He looks only 25 or 26 years old. How come his child is so big? God, it's incredible. I'm not dreaming, am I? Do you want me to pinch you? Su Zi said. Such a big girl just hugged you for a photo. Do you still think it's a dream? Huh, it seems that Mr. Zhou left out one sentence when he introduced Ms. Ruan to us. She is Mrs. Su. Haha, the husband is young and promising, and the girl is cute and likable. It's really enviable. Li Cixi could only sigh that Ruan Qingshuang was the luckiest woman in the world. Su Yun's charm obviously hadn't been reflected in anything yet, but she felt a little powerless to resist. Just by the fact that he could own the biggest entertainment group in Huaxia at such a young age, he could probably win the hearts of all the girls. You two stop guessing. It's not what you think. Ling Jiling said lightly. That's not Mr. Su's biological daughter. The story between them is enough to make a good movie. Huh. Don't ask me. I don't know how to tell you. Ling Jiling had experienced some things herself, so she knew Su Yun better than other artists in the Sky Entertainment. She knew Su Yun's secret identity that others didn't know. Although Su Yun didn't ask her to keep it a secret, she was also very clear that some things couldn't be used as a topic of gossip. Sister Jiling, don't be so stingy. Share the story with us. Su Zi said. We are confused now. If you don't explain it to us, we will be more and more confused. We just need to do our own thing. Ling Jiling said and pointed not far away. Isn't that the little brother who worked with you in a movie? Don't you want to go and say hello? There were no outsiders now, so Su Zi said somewhat arrogantly. Even if I want to say hello, it should be him who says hello to me. Anyway, I'm an old man who signed with him for several years. If I hadn't brought him along, he wouldn't have gotten so much attention. While they were still talking, The little junior brother they were talking about hurriedly came over to greet them. After Feng brought Su Yin to meet several well-known directors, she also felt that Su Yin was tired. If you feel tired, go back to the hotel and rest first. Don't worry, I'll keep an eye on things here. I'm afraid that Guogua hasn't gotten used to it yet. Mr. Ruan won't be able to leave for a while. Then I'll leave it to you. Su Yin was really tired. He had been standing and chatting with this and that. He had heard so many flattering words that his ears were getting calluses. Compared to Su Yun, Cho Yun and Lin Suyin were much more relaxed. Cho Yun only needed to pay attention to Guogua, and Lin Suyin just chatted with the people she was interested in. There was no need to socialize. Go back first. After Guogua's novelty wears off, I'll arrange for someone to send them back to the hotel to find you. Feng Ying said. You won't be relaxed tomorrow. Today's task is to get enough energy. After Su Yin promised Feng Ying, he went to talk to RuanQingshuang. RuanQingshuang understood, and also hoped that Su Yin could go back to rest early. She and Cho Yun could take care of Guogua, so Su Yin could rest assured. After that, Su Yin walked out of the main hall of the movie square quietly. He didn't want to be surrounded by a group of people saying goodbye. It was too tiring. Su Yin came to the parking lot. Just as he opened the car door and was about to get in, there was a sound of high heels behind him. He looked back and saw Ling Jiling walking out with him. Sister Jiling. Su Yin was stunned. Huh, I saw you chatting with an acquaintance just now, so I didn't say goodbye to you. I'm going back to the hotel first. Ling Jiling said. I understand. If you say hello to everyone, you'll waste another hour. These few days must be very tiring. You should go back and rest early. What about you? Are you going to stay for a while? Su Yin asked. I don't want to stay anymore. It's not easy to get a chance to leave the set for a breather. I don't want to waste time on social interactions. It's too tiring. Ling Jiling said. So I sneaked out with you. Anyway, I'm going to the hotel later, so I'll take your car. Su Yin smiled. What about your assistant and the others? You just left them here? After I leave with you, I'll call them and ask them to find me at the hotel. Ling Jiling said. It's just that I haven't seen you for a long time. I want to chat with you. Being with you is much more relaxing than being with them. Then I'm really honored. Su Yin said. Get in the car. Let's go back first. After Su Zi and Li Sishi dealt with each other in the main hall for a while, they also noticed that Su Yin and Ling Jiling had left. We're still too inexperienced. Su Zi shook her head and said, It seems that the relationship between Sister Jiling and Chairman Su is definitely more complicated than we thought. I'm afraid she has already gone back to the hotel with Chairman Su. What? Li Sishi was shocked. It can't be? Is there really something between them? These are all rumors. Is it true? Everyone says that Chairman Su and Chairman Zhua's relationship is also unusual. Sister Jiling is just looking for trouble by doing that. Suzy shook her head. We don't know about that. But right now, I'm sure that Chairman Su is definitely still single. Whoever can seize the opportunity will be promoted. Li Sishi was still inexperienced compared to Suzy. What do you mean? Is Sister Jiling's treatment in Sky Entertainment not good enough? Other than Sister Bing Bing, I'm afraid that no one can shake her position. An artist is an artist. No matter how high their status is, they are still employees in the eyes of the bosses. Suzy said, but if she becomes the lady boss, her status will be different. Didn't you hear? Sister Jiling directly called Chairman Su's name. That's a bit out of the ordinary. Also, the way she says it is very smooth. Li Sishi suddenly realized. Sister Jiling is still the best. She's worthy of being called the smooth and slick Miss Ling. We don't have a chance. That's right. Let's do our job well. Suzy said. It's just that I don't think Sister Bing Bing will let Sister Jiling succeed so easily. The competition between the two of them has never stopped in the dark. Hee, this isn't a secret anymore. But I think that with Chairman Zhua and Chairman Ruan, they really are in danger. Li Sishi said. Suzy nodded. This is originally a gambling competition. The winner is king and the loser is in the wrong. If Mr. Zhua and Mr. Ruan were also the key factors, Angering them would most likely mean that they would be completely banned from the industry. Maybe. This is also an opportunity for us. Aren't you thinking too much? Lee Sishi suddenly felt that Suzy was getting scarier. You're tuning in to the Earbook Haven YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.